Check once it started or not. Excuse me. Check. Fine. Hello my dear students, how are you all? Hope you are doing great, and we are back with our preparation for your second board examination. Just let me know how many of you are going to give your second board examination. I can see a lot of students were there. Hello and welcome everyone. Just let me know, am I audible, visible, and everything is clear with this live session or not? Just let me know so that we can proceed with the session. And I can see so many students. Rahul is here. Hi Rahul, koi aayega? Yes, someone will definitely come. Don't worry about that. So, second board examination, first of all, yes, there was no need particularly. We would have worked hard in the previous one, but unfortunately, if you are not satisfied with your marks in the previous examination, that is main examination, or somehow you got less marks, or maybe somehow you got compartment also. So, yes, we got a chance. Sometimes what? Comeback is better than setback. That I'm telling you again and again in the second board examination. So we will work for it. Fine. Just give me a thumbs up that. Shall we start the session? Hi Ramdas, how are you? Hi, hello to everyone out here. See, the agenda for today's session is picking up the most repeated questions, right? Most asked questions from the previous year question paper, because as I have already uploaded SST study plan for this second board examination, I told you that the first and foremost thing that you need to do is to practice what? Previous year question papers, at least 5 years. What I was thinking was for at least 5 years. So I picked all of them together and bought for you in this life, right? Shall we start everyone? Hi Satyam. Hi Satyam, how are you? So, are you guys ready? Tell me. Then we are going to start it. Just give me a minute. We are going to start the first question with the first question. Meanwhile, you guys please keep telling me that what was the thing that you lacked for the very first time, so that we can work this time in that, right? Like you gave the exam, how much mark you scored, and this time how much marks you are expecting. What lacked in the marks last time, we will work upon that particularly. Fine. So we have to work on the things that we lacked last time. That's the most important thing. Kal SSC ka unit 1 exam. Okay. Fine. Hello to everyone. I can see your comments, bacha. Hello to everyone out there. Geo is difficult to me, ma'am. Okay, yeah, exactly. Geography is difficult to all of the students, beta. I'll tell you the tricks to get it like easy or possible, which we lacked last time. See, we just have 2 days. One day is today and the other one is tomorrow. What we were not able to do for the entire year, right? We have to do in this 2 days. So basically, what we need to do is to strategize smartly. 73 marks got. Still you are, Gurnur, still you are giving the second board exam. How many marks do you want? How much marks do you want? Geo is difficult, fine. SSC ka unit 1 paper. Satyam, okay. Are you prepared for SSC? Great. I did not read anything. That's the mistake. And how come it is possible that you will read it right now? Not at all possible. That will be more difficult now. Okay. So we are going to start with the very first question. Pay attention to that. Tomorrow will be the entire revision session where we are going to revise the entire SST, a marathon type of session. Practice questions will be there, but I'll more focus on revision with theory. Today we are going to focus more on the most important and the repeated questions. Okay. Now coming to the first question. First question that comes a lot of times, like multiple times in your exam. And this is the very first question. Do you guys remember the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe? Or in this 1 month everything is skyrocketed from your mind? Ma'am, I did not read anything. Okay. Out of 100 it was 73. Okay, Gurnul, then we have to work. Then we have to work to improve our marks. Ma'am, 100. Okay, great. I was not expecting a lot of students. I thought that not so many students might be giving SST exam, but you guys are giving. Okay, so we will start. How did the people of France develop the feeling of collective identity among the citizens? What you have to do is not just to watch this live sitting at your table idle. Take your pen, take your paper right now in your hand. Whenever I am telling one answer, you can pause it and you can try to write it by yourself. This you have to do. Whatever are the important points I am telling you right now, you have to write it, beta. This is how it is going to work. If you are thinking that just listening to me will work out, no, it will not. You have to give your best. So when I am teaching you, mark all these keywords and write it on the piece of paper what you are having right now. Okay? Come on. So how did the people of France develop this feeling of collective identity among the citizens? First question from the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe. That comes a lot of time. So by what happened? First point. The ideas of La Patrie and Les Citoyens emphasizes the notion of united community enjoying equal rights under the constitution. So basically, in France, what happened? Nationalism was growing. The feeling of nationalism was growing a lot. Then what happened? Like, we feel that our motherland, Bharat Mata, we feel connected through it, na? So the first step they took was to identify their territory. Bhai, this is my fatherland and we are the citoyen, that means the citizens. So as we are the citizens, we feel what? More united now. So the first thing is the ideas of La Patrie, Les Citoyens emphasizes the notion of united community, giving equal rights under the constitution. Get it? Very good. Second is the new French flag. The tricolor flag was introduced. It replaced what? Royal standard flag. Royal standard flag. Third is the establishment of National Assembly. So what is National Assembly? It is a political body which is elected by the people who are active citizens. Why so? Because this Estate General was not giving equal right to anyone. Get it, beta? Third is new hymns were composed, oath were taken, martyrs were commemorated, all in the name of nation. What happened when we sing the song Bharat Mata Ki Jai and all that? Hymns, they are hymns. Whenever we sing the song for nation, like on Independence Day, Republic Day, don't you feel that feeling of collectiveness? Yes, we do. Right? So, oath was taken, martyrs were commemorated, everything in the name of nation. A centralized administrative system was put in place, uniform laws for all the citizens. So, they were bringing, bacha, what? Uniformity, to bring a feeling of collective belonging. Then, internal custom duties and dues were abolished. By what happened? In this complete France, when goods were moved from one territory to another, there were duties, there were taxes applied. So when these taxes were applied, the people were like, so what? How they will feel united? So these internal duties were what? They were abolished, so that they can have a uniform system of weights and measure. The last is regional dialects were discouraged. Regional dialect by different region, when speak the different language, they don't feel connected. Hence what happened? France France or Paris, French language was promoted. Get it? These are the important 7 points. Yes, I can see all your comments. Hi Rahul. Rohit, remember me? Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, Kaur Bhatti. What is this name? Write your name. Okay, great. Fine. So, we are going to revise it once again. How many points? 7 points are there. The question will come for how many marks? 5 marks. You can remember how many points? 5 are enough. But for safety, we will do 6 points. Okay. How did the people of France develop the feeling of collective identity among the citizens, beta? The first point here is ideas of, like, see, keywords. La Patrie, Les Citoyens. Fine. French flag. Estate General replaced by National Assembly. New hymns, oath, martyrs, centralized administrative system, internal custom duties abolished. Then what was made? Uniform system of weights and measure. Last, French was promoted. Done? Solo aega. Everyone here is waiting for solo. You guys can't forget solo, right? You want to study with him, is it? Hi Kartik Pandey. Hi, how are you? So, This is the very first question that is going to come in your exam. Next, let's move to the second one, that is, see, this is favorite question of CBSE, and what I remember is this year also you might be seeing that question. Achha, how many of you, tell me, first of all, as your exam is on 21st of May, how many of you solved this year paper that came into your exam? Tell me with, like, don't lie over it, okay? Did you just open that paper, analyzed all the MCQs, read all the questions, and then figured out that what went wrong? Did you do that? Anyone out here in the comment section right now watching this live? Tell me first. No one, right? Acha. Subramaniam is like me. Very good, Subramaniam. So this was the first thing that need to be done by us, was to take that paper, solve it completely. Completed full syllabus. Very good, very good. That's great, Subramaniam. And Gunur, it is done by you, then it is very good. So that's the thing. Like, if we didn't pick the paper that came this year, then there is a problem. No, pick that paper, read it, learn all the questions. I'm pretty sure some questions will be repeated by from where they will bring the new questions. Not at all. So pay attention to that. Achha, moving to the second question of the day. How did Romanticism seek to develop a particular form of national sentiment during the 18th century? Okay, choose 3 examples to show the contribution of culture to the growth of nationalism. So we remember that chapter, what happened when nationalism grew in some countries like France. Gradually it was like what? It was spreading throughout Europe. When it was spreading through Europe, one more thing we saw was the culture's influence on it. How? Like, what is culture? Culture is basically your language, your singing, your dancing, your clothes wearing style, etc. So there are a lot of times when culture have an influence on nationalism. Because what is a nation? Nation is a territory to which we feel belongingness. Isn't it? Yes, it is, beta. So now what happened? Question will come in your exam, how culture played an important role in raising nationalist sentiment. Explain this with how many examples? 3 examples. Okay. So yes, we do have 3 examples. This is topic, that is Romanticism. What is Romanticism? It is a cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiments. Basically, beta, Romanticism is a feeling which do not talks about reason, rationality. Like, see, being romantic is like you are in love with nation. When you are in love with someone, you don't feel any science, reason, rationality behind it, isn't it? Yes, that's true. So similarly, when you're in love with the nation, you don't feel reason, rationality. Imagine a situation, your team didn't play well in cricket match, but still you want that team to win the match. Why? Because that is what nationalism is, right? Similarly, so Romanticism is a cultural movement which sought to develop a feeling of nationalism. First example here is Johann Gottfried Herder of Germany. From where do he belong? So he belonged from Germany. Johann Gottfried Herder. What did he claim that, beta? The true German culture will be discovered by the common people. Yes, the people itself can develop it. So it will be developed among the common people, and they call them Das Volk. What do they call them? Das Volk. It was through folk songs. Like, see, Volk basically, like, it is folk in German language. Do you guys see Volkswagen? It's actually Volkswagen. Because in Germany, this F is written as V. So it was through folk songs, folk poetry, folk dances, the true spirit of nation, that is Vogeist, was popularized. So first example, what you are going to write is about Johann Gottfried Herder. Okay, second will be about Karol Kurpinski. Now he, through his operas, basically singing and music, folk dance like Polonaise and Mazurka. MCQ can come from this topic, that what is Polonaise and Mazurka. So they are the dance form done where during this operas of Karol Kurpinski. Okay, and this also raised the feeling of nationalism among the people. Then third example, you can write Greece. Do you guys remember that Greece as a nation was under Ottoman Empire for years, was under the Ottoman Empire for years. Now what happened? So many people were there living there, which supported this struggle, of Greece people against this Muslim empire. Why? Because they thought that in Europe the civilization started from where? Started from Greece itself. So it is the cradle of civilization. So let's free them. Okay, great. Get it? 3 points. Will you able to write it? Give me a thumbs up if this question is clear to all the students present there. Why are you guys crying in chat right now? Akul Chauhan, what happened? Not in a mood to study? Satyam Rastogi, study beta. Insta, use it tomorrow. Nobody is taking your Insta away from you. Give the exam first, and this is the second chance. Bhai, if you are going to spoil the second chance, what do you think? You are going to get another chance? No. So what is this? Fine. So I think this is done by Bharti Manohar. Hi bacha. Hi Bharti, how are you? So are you also giving this second board examination? Fine. So this was the second question, second important question. I hope you guys have listened it and it's clear to all of you. Yes, now Subramaniam got this, that ma'am will not proceed without a thumbs up. And that's actually true. I'll not. So you have to be active if you want me to be active over here. Okay, great. Fine. So now next question is, how can we say that Scotland's distinctive culture and political institutions were systematically suppressed? Now see why this question has been, like, I put this question over here. See, you know, everyone know about this strange case of Britain. Everyone know about this what, bacha? Strange case of Britain. What happened with Britain? We know that, see, Britain basically formed by the isles of so many islands. It was group of isles over there, right? In those group of isles, there were cultural differences. Like, there were people who used to speak the language British. There were people who speak the language Scot. There were people who were speaking the language what? Like, if I talk about here Scotland, Irish language was there, right? Welsh speaking people were there. We got that, right? So now if we see particularly that group of people living there in different isles speaking different languages, what happened? Among them, one particular people, that is Britain. Britain means the people or the land where who lives. British speaking, like English speaking people were living. So I'll give you more clear vision of that. So basically it was group of isles. See here, people lives who speaks the language English and it is known as England. This is Welsh. Wales it is known as. Then there were Scottish people speaking the language Scottish and the land is known as Scotland, and here it was Ireland. Language spoken was Irish. Okay, now here what happened, this English speaking people living in England got powerful, and in 1688 English Parliament was formed, replacing the power of monarchy. Okay, then they saw other lands as an opportunity ki bhai, now I'm going to grab this opportunity and take the power over other territories too. So gradually the next target becomes Scotland. But here the question is only about Scotland. We need not to write the entire story of strange case of Britain. Why I have put this question? To make you understand that yes, this types of question comes in exam. Okay, Satyam Rastogi be like, sorry ma'am, it's okay beta. Why are you so underrated ma'am? Beta, this I don't know. This is like, you guys can only make us overrated na? This is in your hands. So Fine. Moving to this question, what happened? These British people, right? These British people signed an act of union. Act of what? Union. In the year 1707, and this act of union was signed between England and Scotland. Do you think that Scottish people were enjoying signing this? No, because they were weak. They signed it. Okay, forming the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Now, so see what happened. The British people said that, see, we are powerful. We signed an act with you. Now what happened? We became great. So it became United Kingdom. Why two kingdoms are united? England and Scotland. So United Kingdom of Great Britain. England was able to impose on its influence on Scotland. We know that. The Catholic clans that inhabited the Scottish Highlands suffered terrible suppression over there. So because England was supporting Protestants, so whichever Catholic peoples were living in Scotland, they were like affected a lot over there. The Scottish Highlanders were forbidden to speak the Gaelic language and to wear the national dress. So basically the entire region was taken over by English people. English language was applied there. The dress of wearing, the national anthem and everything was implied over there. Great. Is it okay? Now give me a thumbs up if this question is also clear to everyone out there. Vara Prasad, hi ma'am, hi beta. And if anyone want to ask any other question that ma'am from this chapter, please explain this question. Ma'am, from this chapter I want to learn this. Like right now we are studying history. So all the questions from history will be entertained from your side. Okay, I'll give you the time when we complete history and move to other portion, that go search all the questions and find out, ask me whatever you want. Now, okay, I got a question very quickly, very good, and this is how you guys are active and I can feel that. How did print culture create conditions that led to French Revolution? Ma'am, please tell us. Very good, beta. Dead shot. A question is also a dead shot over here. And it is thumbs down. Why, Bharati? Don't you get the question? Hello, Prakash Suryavanshi. How are you, beta? Are you also giving the question? Sorry, second board exam. Day after tomorrow. Yes, I am a boy here. What is this going on? I am a boy, I am a girl. Arey bhai, study. Now also you guys are doing this. Okay, so we will deal with the question asked by a student whose name is Deadshot, and the question is, see, how did print culture basically led to French Revolution? Very good question out here. See, last year when you were in class 9th, you studied French Revolution very nicely. In that there was one topic that was role of revolutionaries. Do you guys remember it? Yes. So there was a topic, role of revolutionary, like Voltaire, Rousseau, and a lot of them, right? And these people developed certain theories. They didn't develop theories. They rather told the world that there are phenomena like democracy, equality, secularism going around the corner, because USA became the first democratic country. And later what happened when printing came so popular, these ideas were being explored by the common people day by day. Okay, so when we talk about this, how did print culture like influence the French people? First of all, beta, the reading culture in Europe, right? The reading culture in Europe that increased because of the increase in literacy led to the debates and negotiations. Okay, led to what, beta? Debates and negotiation. We have seen in lot of coffee shops, saloons, etc. The people, when they were sitting, they were discussing about the phenomena, raising their voices against the existing government over there, right? So why? Because of these print culture that was exploring in the market of Europe. When there were debates and discussions, right? If I talk about this, when there were debates and discussions, what happened? What exchange of ideas lead to what? Sometimes they lead to acceptance or not acceptance. So here we can also write that ideas of enlightened thinkers. Okay, ideas of enlightened thinkers reached to the common people, reached to the common people. Here also give the example of the philosophers like Voltaire, Rousseau, etc. You can write that. Fine. The third question, the third point you can add in this question, because this is for 3 marks. The third point that you can write over here, because of this debates and negotiation, because of this enlightened thinking, what happened? Now the people, right? The people got the power to question, right? To question to the monarchy and mock their morality. Mock their morality. This is the answer to the question you asked. Did you guys get it? Give me a thumbs up. Ma'am, first question hai. What do you mean by this? Dead shot, did you get this question, beta? Anyone else? Anyone else who have any question from history? You guys are really like welcome to ask any question, whatever you want. Satyam be like, exactly, question will come. Understand, ma'am, very helpful, thank you. Great, fine. Moving to the next question out there. See, I'm just telling you some important topics from this chapter. If you guys have any question, you can ask from me, okay? And if I feel that this needs to be discussed, we will discuss it very nicely. Yes, I'm waiting, dead shot, no worries. So, rise of nationalism in Europe, the important chapter, the highest weightage chapter. Okay, the highest weightage chapter that is going to come in your exam. The first question that you need to study is, how did French people raise the feeling of nationalism? We did this. The second question, beta, that you need to understand is about Napoleon. Right? Napoleon. Do you guys remember Napoleon? Yes, we guys know that. So after a series of war against monarchy, finally in the year 1804, Napoleon became the Emperor of France. He became what? The Emperor of France. So, he passed a civil code, right? He passed a civil code which is also popularly known as Napoleonic Code. Which is also popularly known as Napoleonic Code. How will the question come in your exam? By write a short note on the Napoleonic Code or write a short note on the Civil Code of 1804. What were the important provisions? See, if we talk about Napoleon and you guys think that he was a very good person, we can think that, but he did not establish democracy, right? He replaced monarchy, already existing monarchy and already existing social structure over there, but he did not establish democracy. Rather, he was a dictator. But the changes he did in the administration was good. They were good changes. Like in the first point, we can talk about he abolished which system over there? He abolished what, beta? Privileges on the basis of birth. He abolished privileges on the basis of birth. We are aware that in Europe the situation was that there were clergy, there were nobles, some people were giving privileges not to give tax, etc. But some people were not. The third state was not enjoying it. So he abolished the privileges on the basis of birth, due to which everyone became equal before the law. Everyone became equal before the law, bacha. Get it? And right to property was also given by him. Right to property was also given by him. Second point. Anyone who remember the second point? Anyone? Okay, German. Fine, I got more questions from Aman here. How did Romanticism, folklores and vernacular language contribute to the development of national sentiments? I guess, Aman, you're asking this question from Europe wala chapter, na? Just confirm me once so that I can proceed with the answer. The second question you are asking is, the German unification was achieved through the policy of blood and iron. Explain the statement. Okay. Both the questions are going to be discussed here only right now. Don't worry about that. We will discuss it once I am done with this. Okay, Aman? Stay connected. Don't go anywhere. I will deal up with all the questions you just asked to me. Fine. Meanwhile, you guys can also share this live session with all of the students who are giving the second board examination so that they can also get benefited by this particularly. And if in case you want this PDF of important questions, I added in the description over there. So you can open that in your laptops and all so that it can facilitate your preparation too. Fine. Yeah. Okay, I have a doubt. Who's asking this? Swarna. Yes, Swarna, you can ask the doubt. Next, from Balram, I'm getting the answer that he abolished the feudal system. Very good. Because what happened, if I talk about Napoleon wanted to explore to Europe and wanting control over the Europe. So this code was exported to the region, right? So this code was exported to the region where he has the control, like Dutch Republic, Italy, Germany, and many more countries. To basically administer these region, what did he want? Central administration is very, very much needed. And for that central administration, what he need to abolish was the feudal system, beta. Was the feudal system. So he abolished the feudal system. Yes, he did. Free all the serf. All the serf was free from the manorial dues and the burdens. Get it, beta? Very good. Next is the trade guild restrictions. The trade guild restrictions were removed. So there were a lot of restrictions that were started by these group of people who were trading on certain items that no one is going to enter into our economic arena. So he removed that because he wanted everyone to be economically free. Get it? So these are the important points of Napoleon. Done with Napoleon. Lot of question. Wait. Describe the impact of colonialism on the Asian and African economy. Please tell, please. This question is not going to, dead short, this will not come. Don't worry about that. Aman, I have one more question. How did liberal nationalism stands in political, economic and social sphere? Okay. One more doubt I am here getting. Treaty of Vienna. Okay. No one come from previous session. आपके कितने percentage? Ma'am, describe the impact of colonialism. Dead short, this question is not going to come from. Where did you got this question? Which chapter it is? Ricky. Jasmine. Okay, so coming back with this, now we are done with this question Napoleon. I'm picking this another topic, that is liberal nationalism. Is one of the doubt you also guys asked me right now. So here one question that usually come in your exam is explain, right? Aman asked this, right? Aman, are you here? So the question is explain what does liberal nationalism stands for. So basically beta, this word liberalism, right? This word liberalism or liberal comes from a Latin word which means freedom or getting free. Liberal means free. We know that. Now, the question is explain liberalism in social, okay, political and economic sphere. Social, political as well as economic sphere. This is exactly the question is. So when I talk about social liberalism, beta, what do you want in society? When we talk about social liberalism, what do you want? In society, you want the equality. Right? You want equality before the law, that everyone should be treated equally, which was not the situation in Europe then thereafter, right? Then let's talk about freedom, like freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom, basic rights they want. So this is what here social liberalism stands for. When I talk about political liberalism, they wanted the government, right? They wanted the government to be chosen by the people. They wanted the government to be chosen by the people, right? Basically, they want the replacement too. What? Aristocratic society. What aristocracy means? Aristocracy means when the ruler, whoever is ruling to the country, is not giving any right to the citizen. So they wanted the government to be chosen by the people. It should replace the aristocratic or autocratic government which is ruling over there. This is what they want, bacha. And if I talk about in economics, so they want freedom of what? Freedom of market and exchange of, free movement of, exchange of what? Goods and services. Goods and services. Did you guys get it now? Anyone? अरे भाई आप इंस्टा यूज, everyone is using insta nowadays, but you guys are not here to get the insta IDs and exchange them on this platform right now. Ma'am, एक सवाल है. Yes, Prakash, you can ask the question. Ma'am, about Balkans and romanticism, I have doubt. Yes, Swarna, you can ask it. Please let me know. We'll go one by one. Don't get confused. Do not bombard you with lot of questions all together. None of your doubt will be solved thereafter. So tell me, is this topic of liberal nationalism clear to all the students so that I can move to the second one? I think it's clear now. Moving to the next one. Ma'am, about Balkan and romanticism, I have a doubt to ask. Bacha, I am here to listen. Ask, you can ask it. You don't keep on telling me that I have a doubt. You tell your doubt. Okay. Now coming to the next question, which I remember in mind, asked by Aman, I guess, that how we can say that unification of Germany is the result of blood and iron policy. But blood and iron policy here, basically they are saying that how it is the result of war. What is blood and iron? With sword, what you are doing? You are fighting, right? So it is basically bacha about war. So let me tell you that unification of Germany is the result of war, series of war. Yes. And it was not the very first time that people of Germany just wake up and demanded for freedom. No, the liberal nationalism, right? The liberal nationalism, like in the Treaty of Vienna also we have seen. Acha, we have to explain Treaty of Vienna also, I remember. So, if I talk about this liberal nationalism, it was so much like in high among the German people, But whenever these German people ask for, whenever these German people ask for rights, then what happened? They were always suppressed by. They were always suppressed by whom? By monarchy. They were always suppressed by monarchy. Large landowners. Who were these large landowners? Known as Junkers. These and military. So they were suppressed by them. But this time, who took the leadership? Prussia. Why did Prussia took the leadership? Because it was the largest region, the largest German region. So this Prussian people took the leadership, and who was the chief minister here? The mastermind, or what we can say, basically the sword of German unification. He was Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck. So what happened? Otto von Bismarck fought how many wars? 3 wars for 7 years. 3 wars for how many years, bacha? 7 years. Against. Now you are going to tell me those 3 countries. I am not going to tell you and everything today. Okay, tell me. These 3 wars were fought against which countries? I am giving you. Acha, I'll give you some options. Was it Austria, Denmark, France, Scotland, Ireland, Britain? Which of these? Tell me. Ma'am, what did the role? Bhaiya, every role is played by Otto von Bismarck only. He was the mastermind. He was the chief minister. Basically, he was the head of the army who is fighting over there in the war. So, he was the chief minister who planned everything. He was the mastermind of this game. Okay. So, what happened after this war? It resulted into Prussian victory. It resulted into what, bacha? Prussian victory. And it was in 1871. It was in 1871 that we had an united Germany as a nation. United Germany as a nation. King Wilhelm IV became the first monarch of independent Germany. Did you guys get that? Ma'am, describe Balkan and romanticism. Yes. So, Swarna, Swarnalata, whatever you are, I don't know. I know that this is not your real name. Okay, Balkans and Romanticism I am explaining. Here, see, Balkan crisis is listed. Now, beta, I will tell you. Okay, Balraj is answering against France, Denmark and Austria. Subramaniam also told me just France. So yes, the three countries were France, Denmark and Austria. Very good, very good, very good, beta. So France, Denmark and Austria. This is the answer to which question? Unification of Germany. Done. Give me a thumbs up fast. We'll be moving to second question. Clear with unification of Germany? This year in the paper, when you pick up your paper, you will see the question unification of Germany, unification of Italy. And if you are thinking that ma'am it will be repeated or not, beta, there are high chances this question can be repeated. High chances. We will be doing paper analysis on 21st of May. And then we will discuss that ma'am you told this question has high chances and it came. Fine, great. Now coming to the next one, that is unification of Italy or Italian unification. See, if I go and tell you about the geography of Italy, so Italy was divided. Now why are we calling it Italy? Because only and only thing that was common among the people was their language, bacha. Was their language. And what was the language? They were Italian speaking. Other than that, none of the thing was common. It was divided into 3 states. It was divided into 3 states. If I give you a rough, very rough diagram of Italy, because I don't know what actually the map is. Here are certain islands also. If I tell you this region of Italy, right? This region, which we can call as Northwest. This region was ruled by Sardinia, Piedmont. Okay, Sardinia, Piedmont. Sorry, this region is known as Sardinia, Piedmont, ruled by Italian princely house. Princely house, that means the princely rulers who actually is an Italian person. Okay, beta. Now, in this region, there were 2 territories. One was Lombardy and the other one was Venetia. Lombardy and Venetia. And who took over this place? Austrian rulers. Austrian dynasty was ruling over here. The center of Italy was ruled by Pope. Pope means the head of the church. Okay. And if I talk about the south, this region is known as South Sicily. The South Sicily. The Sicily, the place from where pasta came, and we call it Italian dish. So, if we talk about this Sicily, na beta, this was ruled by Bourbon dynasty of Spain. Bourbon dynasty of Spain. And somehow in my mind Bourbon biscuit is coming right now. But it have a lot of sugar. But still we like to eat it. So when we talk about Bourbon dynasty, this Bourbon dynasty belongs to Spain, not France. That Louis XVI one, it was not that. Fine. So this was the condition. Treaty of Vienna. Next topic will be Treaty of Vienna for sure, beta. Okay, I'm forgetting it again and again. So here, the first person, right? If I just mess up with the spelling, you guys can understand, please. So if someone who just saw the view to unite Italy, we talk about the name, it was Mazzini. Mazzini started a revolution. He was the first person who said that there should be an united Italy, right? That he saw that nations are the units of mankind, natural units of mankind, right? So Giuseppe Mazzini was the first person who just viewed that larger vision to unite Italy. But however, he did it revolt 1829, 1831, but failed. Right? But failed. Now, next is about Cavour. Count D. Cavour. Now, who was he? He was a diplomat. He was smart. He was not a revolutionary, not a democrat. He was a diplomat. He was smart. He was the brain, what we can say. So, the next person is what? Cavour. What cavor was he knew French better than Italy. So that French engineered person now made an alliance and drove away this Austrian forces. So Austrian forces, tata bye bye. What happened? This entire region comes under Italy. So because of this cavor, Austrian forces were defeated. Who were defeated, beta? Austrian forces were defeated. No more ruling the Italy region. Very good. Now the third person is Garibaldi. Who is it? Garibaldi. Right? Garibaldi. The names are like... Okay, now this person made his army, which was popularly known as Red Shirts. Took this army, moved to the south region, talked to the people, asked the people to give them side, and added the people, common people in the army by saying that we are Italian people, La Italia, let's bring this Italy together. And basically by sentiments. So he fought against this people of South Sicily, the Bourbon dynasty of Spain, and defeated him. And this is how in 1861 we got what, bacha? United Italy. United Italy. For Victor Emmanuel II as the ruler of United Italy. Got it or not? Tell me. Ma'am, ab to sugar free bhi aate hain bourbon. Okay. Yeah, right. Will you take class tomorrow? Yes, I will take class tomorrow. At the same time, we will start the class at 12 p.m. At 12 p.m. right? We will start the class. That will be the revision class basically. Okay. With complete SST. Why did Lord Byron supported the Greek War of Independence? Because he was an English poet. Like when you are doing poetry or something like that, borders does not exist for you or matters for you. Getting my point? And the people were so much affectionate about the Greek region, thinking that it was cradle of civilization. Like in Europe, the civilization started from here only. Getting my point? That was the reason. Okay? Or evening. Beta, we will start the class at 12. It will be expanding to evening only. I'll take long class. Okay, ma'am, Britain ka kya? Okay, we'll talk about case of Britain. I just told you the case of Britain right now. Why did Lord Byron? Yeah, I just told you Lord Byron. Just give me a second, beta. Just a second. Okay, so let's now talk about Treaty of Vienna, as this is a doubt being repeatedly asked by one of my student here, right? I don't know it's he or she, but let's move with which question, beta? Treaty of Vienna. Anyone who has any other doubt can write now and we will deal all of them. Next question is about Treaty of Vienna. Treaty of Vienna. So beta, this Treaty of Vienna was signed in the year 1815. Let's be quick now because we have to study a lot. So this Treaty of Vienna was signed in the year bacha 1815. We know that. What happened? Here was a person, Napoleon. Napoleon came into power in 1798. He started the wars, became Emperor of France in 1804. And no one in Europe was welcoming him because he was against the existing political order of monarchy. Right? He was against this aristocratic culture. He was somewhere providing liberalism to people, social and economic sphere, not political sphere. So because of them, everyone got scared. Bhai, if Napoleon came, what will be about our power? So all those monarch, right? All those monarch in Europe came together and fought a war. What was that war? Battle of Waterloo. And defeated Napoleon. After the defeat of Napoleon, here all the people came at Vienna. Where is Vienna? Austria. With the Chancellor. Who was the Chancellor? Tell me. Who was the Chancellor who hosted Treaty of Vienna? Tell me right now. the famous person, very, very famous person. So all those people came together. So basically, what was the objective, right? What was the objective of this Treaty of Vienna was to take over, right? Take over Napoleon's control over this French Empire, right? French Empire, because now this French Empire is not only restricted to France. He took over Italy, he took over Austria, Dutch Republic, and many regions around them. So because of this, he wanted to, basically they do not want anyone as Napoleon to come back. So what they did in Treaty of Vienna, like if it is France, they circled all the territories around the France and took the control over them. You can read those particular line. It was just to take over the power of Napoleon. Get it? This is about Treaty of Vienna. Next question. So we are done with what? We are done with liberal nationalism, unification of Germany, unification of Italy. Now question here is, ma'am, Balkan case, independent states. Q. Because of nationalism, beta. Because Balkan region. Acha, we will talk about Balkan crisis now. Let's talk about the fourth important topic, that is Balkan crisis. Question comes a lot of times. Kalyani is like, yes, for what, beta? Hello, Shaz, how are you? I hope that this hello is for me, not for the students out there, because I answered you. Okay, so when I talk about this Balkan region, beta, right? See, if this is Europe, if this is what? Europe, right? This region is referred as Balkan region. Since 15th century, pay attention that since 15th century, this Balkan region is ruled by Ottoman Empire. This Balkan region is ruled by Ottoman Empire, and this Ottoman Empire was Islamic Empire. First point is that because this is Islamic Empire and this is Christianity over there, Roman Empire. Okay, do you think there will be cordial relations between them? No. This is one of the reasons that people find it sea-route to move to India, because they were filing taxes over them. Let's leave that. But here is the what region, beta? Balkan region. This Balkan region, if you go and see like countries like Slovenia, Herzegovina, Greece, etc., etc., right? If we talk about them, there were lot of territories over here. And who have their own what, beta? Their own culture and identity. The language was different, their culture was different, their tradition was different, and many more things. So when they had that different culture, different identity, being ruled by what? Ottoman Empire for more than 300 years. Now what happened? What is happening in the rest of Europe, beta? France became independent. Yes. Right? Here Germany became united. Yes. Here Italy became united. All our people are replacing the aristocratic rule. Why? Because there was a feeling of nationalism among them. There was the feeling of beta what? Nationalism among them. This feeling of nationalism gradually moved towards the east. Right? And when these people are also aware about these philosophers' ideas, nationalism, they also demanded for what? They also demanded for independent territories. Now getting this point or not? Right? As these were demanding for bacha what? Independent territories. Now pay attention. Here there is a territory. Here there is a territory. Right? Now in between this is a region. This is a region. Here this country, for example, let's take the example of Slovenia and Herzegovina. So here is a territory. Slovenia says, bhai, this is my territory. Herzegovina says, no, I have control over that. This is what we guys are fighting over the world for land only, na? So because of this, people wanted their claim over their claim over the territory at the expense of other. Right? It's not yours, it's mine, at the expense of others. Now what happened? What happened? Pay attention. These people are fighting among each other. When someone in our neighborhood is fighting, what do? We go out and see those fights and enjoy, isn't it? Yes. Similarly, when these people were fighting, what happened? The big empires like Britain, Russia, and they were like, oh, this is a good chance. Let's get back the control of this Balkan region. They entered in that fight because they were great people at that time. Fight increased, and later this series of war lead to what? First World War. The series of war leads to First World War. Here one question is coming from the students out here. Beta, imperialism means that I should be powerful at the expense of other. Like what? British were imperialist leader because they wanted the control over India at the expense of our people. They wanted the control of all the resources of India. That's imperialist. So imperialism means to control another territory and use their resources. Okay? How did romantic nationalism arise in Balkans? Beta, the same way it arose in other regions. Now tell me, is this Balkan crisis clear to everyone out there? Or still you guys have any doubt in this Balkan crisis? Balkan crisis, clear? Important question can come. Chances are there because last time it was not there in the paper. Aman Yadav, Swarna. Aman Yadav? Padle beta. Swarna Lata, hi, how are you? Acha, this is Swarna. Okay, get it. Okay, fine. So this one is clear to every student out there. See, that question, British na, I explained it in between. So we are also done with the British part also. Making of Britain is done. This is done. Frankfurt Parliament is there. Okay, we are left with Frankfurt Parliament. Language role in nationalism. Language role in nationalism is also done by us. If any other question is here from this chapter, you guys can ask me. Okay, now if I talk about Frankfurt Parliament. So beta, what is Frankfurt Parliament? Frankfurt Parliament was convened in the year 1848, right? So it was convened in the year 1848 by the people of Germany, okay? By the people of Germany or German speaking people, basically all those educated, who were the participants? All those educated middle class people, right? This was convened in the year that is 18th of May 1848 with 848 peoples. So all these went to St. Paul, the church of St. Paul, and did a procession, do you know na? Lot of people went there and demanded that we will be forming we will be writing a constitution so that Germany can be ruled as constitutional monarchy. All these people decided this, fine, and everything was going smooth. But now what happened? They presented this idea to the Prussian king at that time, and he was King Wilhelm IV, right? King Wilhelm IV. So this Wilhelm IV said, what do you think? Am I mad? Do you want that I should suppress my power? Not at all. So if I talk about this, he denied the offer. And this basically resulted as a failure. What failed, beta? What failed? So this Frankfurt Parliament failed when this Prussian king denied. But question comes a lot of times that why did Frankfurt Parliament fail? And this is not the one reason because of which Frankfurt Parliament failed. We have lot of reasons. Among that lot of reason, one is that this particular parliament was dominated by, beta, it was dominated by middle class, and these middle class peoples were not entertaining the demands of the poor workers. Getting my point? The second and the most important reason is about women and their rights. No rights were provided to women. See, whenever there was war, women were there. Whenever there was revolt, women were supporting. But whenever there was question about giving rights to women, no people was giving. So here, women were not given right. They were just treated as visitors standing in the gallery. Okay, can you see that picture in the Frankfurt Parliament? When you, like, if you have opened your book, in the Frankfurt Parliament topic, there is Saint Paul, and the picture is over there, and that picture is the photo of Germania, right? Tell me right now, after reading that, who painted that picture? Okay, please say making of Britain, ma'am. Acha, making of Britain you want? We'll do again. Fine. Why only female figures were chosen as allegory? So finally, men being like irritated by feminism over here. Beta, because see, because the motherly figure, like if I talk about nation as a country, we have some, why do we prefer telling everything to our mother than father, right? Why do we feel that, what we can say, that connection? Why do we feel that connection with our mother? Because she has that feminine energy, right? Feminine energy to take care of family, to take care of children. Similarly, a nation can be took care by a mother more than a father. This is what a point is in visualizing a nation as a woman. Okay, so to make it more connectable, basically, so visualizing the nation topic. Sultan is here with a topic. Fine, we'll deal everything today. Na? I think that you guys have never studied in the entire year, and everything we have to study today. Okay, role of language in nationalism. So if I talk about role of language in nationalism, which country will you remember, beta? There is an example given. Tell me, anyone? So the question comes a lot of times that how did language played an important, two questions are there. How did culture played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments? We have to write three examples: Johann Gottfried Herder, Karol Kurpinski, Greece. If the question comes, how did language played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments, then we will write one example, that is of Poland. So Poland was occupied by Russian people. So Russian domination was imposed on the Polish people, and this Polish people were denied their language. But what they did in the church gathering, etc., they rejected the Russian dominance by speaking what? Polish people. However, they were suppressed later, but this is how we can show language played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments. 3 points are given in the book, just to revise them, learn them today. Okay. Philip Wheat. Taruni is here with Philip Wheat. Very good. I asked a question in between, who painted that picture of Germania, and here Taruni is asking, answering me as what? Philip Wheat. Very good, beta. Very good. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. So, yes, SST paper is very easy. Someone just texted and ran away by deleting that text. Yeah, it's very easy. But still, you guys are giving second board exam, then there is a question. Okay, anything else? Visualizing the nation topic. Beta, visualizing the nation, it is very, very easy. Visualizing the nation, basically the female figures were chosen to visualize as a nation, and that is known as allegory of the nation. And that is known as, bacha, what? Allegory of the nation. If I talk about Germany, the Germany allegory is Germania. If I talk about France, we have a popular name of France, that Christian Marianne, right? And her figure was like painted in lot of stones, lot of stamps particularly. Get it? So that was it. Anything else from this chapter so that we can move to the second chapter, bhai? We have to, like, we took 1 hour to do this chapter. It's lot of time. Anything else? Female bigger I have done. Italy is done. Everything is done. Okay, so whatever you were asking, guys, I think everything is done. Still, I'm giving you 1 minute to ask the question from this chapter, or if it is done, just give me a thumbs up. We will move to the second chapter. Okay, what is the second chapter? What do you guys expect? Russian Revolution or French Revolution? No similarities. Arey bhai, this is not going to come tomorrow. We are just preparing for tomorrow. No doubt. Next chapter. Okay. Ma'am, what is your name? My name is Tanvi, beta. My name is Tanvi, and I teach you what? I teach you SST on the same platform. Who is Lord Byron? Lord Byron, an English poet who fought for Greece independence. He started a war even, and he died of fever fighting for Greek to become independent out of Ottoman Empire. Okay, he was Lord Byron. Fine, is it clear, beta? Okay, moving to the next chapter. I just took a 1 minute pause before moving to the second chapter, and the second chapter is beta, nationalism in India. So now entirely the chapter is only about India. Europe is over. We are aware about this. First important question that comes from this chapter is, how did First World War help in the growth of national movement in India? Again, the question is, how did First World War help in the growth of national movement in India? Right, my sister's name is also Tanvi. Okay, I get it. The TH here, which is written in the language of South India. Oh, get it. Great. Glad to know this, that someone exists a similar name of mine. Fine. So, how did First World War help in the growth of national movement in India? Beta, see, we stopped the last chapter at the topic that First World War was the result of Balkan crisis. Okay, now we are reading that what is the result of this world war in the national sentiments that are raised in India. Now they are like two different topics. Why are we doing that? Beta, because in this world war two groups were there. Right? There were two groups, Central Powers and Allied Powers. There were two groups, Central Powers and Allied Powers. In that Allied Powers, beta, in that group of Allied Power, there was a country that was Britain who was ruling India at this time. Who was ruling India, who was the colonial power of India at that time. We are aware about that. So because of the result of because British were there, British wanted India to support them in the war, and we did it indirectly. Lot of army men were asked to go there. All the resources for food, for cotton, for the dresses, for the tent, etc. went from where? From India. So in this situation, a new economic and political situation arose in India. People also get irritated. So what happened? The war created a new economic and political situation. First point is, right, this increased defense expenditure. By for obviously, if British will be participating in war, their expenditure for defense will be increased. From where they are going to get these paisa? This paisa is going to come from India. So they increase the taxes. Right? They increased the taxes, they increased the custom duties and introduced a new tax, that is income tax. This is how income tax came for the very first time to the world. See, okay, so it is because of that First World War. Beta, right now also you can see that lot of things are getting expensive. Right? Custom duties are being imposed on LPG and the natural fuel, whatever we have. Why? Because war is fought in Middle East. So somewhere that Middle East is basically the cause of all the war, and I'm pretty sure that region will only lead Third World War if any time it get happened. So yes, whenever there is a war, defense expenditure increases, and we being directly or indirectly being the part of war, we are being affected by it. Similarly, war prices increases. Then what happened? During that war time, between this period of 1913 to 1918, beta, the economic crisis came in India. Prices increasing. Who is getting affected? The common people. We as the common people. Okay, so villages were caused upon for forced recruitment. Yes, right. There was crop failure during this time. There was famine. Question can come, how many people perished during that time? 12 to 13 million. Because of that famine, people were not able to feed, and because people were not getting food, they were getting died. Okay, please cover important topics. Yes, beta, I'm covering important topic. This is one of them only. Okay, so if question comes, how did First World War created a feeling of what? Created a feeling of nationalism. What we are going to write is important point. First, defense expenditure. Second, war price increases. Third, forced recruitment. Fourth, crop failure. Fifth, what? What is fifth? What is fifth? Famine. Repeat after me once again. First is defense expenditure, war prices increases, forced recruitment, then we have crop failure, and then we have famine. 5 marks, 5 points, more than enough. Done? Great. Next question. Next question. Acha, meanwhile, if you have any question from which chapter, nationalism in India, you can answer. I will entertain all of these questions, right? Now, next question is, write a newspaper report on Jallianwala Bagh massacre and Simon Commission. Again, I am telling you, by what this newspaper report means. What, beta? By this report means short note. Okay, now comes the question is here, but let's go to the background and understand how the situation of Jallianwala Bagh and Simon Commission came into point. So now what happened by 1915? It was the time in 1915 when Gandhiji came to India in the month of January. Gandhiji came with a new idea. What was that idea? Satyagraha. What we will do? Satyagraha. Satyagraha means we will fought against the Britishers, but with truth and non-violent manner. So this was Satyagraha. He came to India and participated in some of the early Satyagrahas like Champaran, Kheda, Ahmedabad. What were those, beta? Champaran, Kheda and Ahmedabad. Done. Then what happened? After these small Satyagraha, an act was passed by Britishers. Right? An act was passed by Britishers, that is Rowlatt Act. That is what, beta? Rowlatt Act. Now, what were the provisions of these act? Question can come. Look, like, wait, I'll make a timeline for it properly. So, it was in January 1915. What happened? Mahatma Gandhi came India. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi came India. Fine, bhai. He came India. He took a leave of 1 year, after which he participated in 3 different what, beta? He participated in 3 different what? Satyagraha. Okay. In that Satyagraha, the first one was Champaran. Okay. Then it was Kheda. And then it was Ahmedabad, right? I'll talk about the issues also. Ahmedabad. If I talk about Champaran, what happened? The Satyagraha was against what beta? Against plantation system. Okay, plantation system, basically the forceful plantation of indigo. Okay, in Kheda, that was crop failure. That was what? Crop failure, because were which peasants demanded for the like no revenue policy. Then if I talk about Ahmedabad, this was a strike done by cotton mill workers against the owners to reduce what? To reduce what? To reduce the workload, working hours, and increase the payment. So this was done. Now what happened? After this beta, Rowlatt Act was passed. Right? Rowlatt Act was passed. What were the provisions of this act? So this act came into force in the year 1919, in which British, like this act was passed by Legislative Assembly according, just a minute. According to which, ma'am, myself Abhishek. Hi Abhishek, how are you? According to which government was given the right, This government was given the right to detain the, To detain the political, like whoever are active in the political activities, political prisoners, for how many years, beta? For 2 years without any trial. Without any trial. Now this was very bad, because of which what happened? Gandhiji decided, Gandhiji decided to start beta what? Satyagraha, and that was known as Rowlatt Satyagraha. That was known as Rowlatt Satyagraha. I get it. Now what happened, beta? Because of this Rowlatt Satyagraha, what happened? In lot of places, they picked up the local leaders. They arrested the local leaders. And these local leaders were also arrested from Amritsar. Right? It was Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, right? And beta, if this basically local leaders were arrested, there were lot of violence. There was lot of beta what? Violence. Because of this violence raised, martial law was imposed. What was imposed, bacha? Martial law, that means military rule, was imposed in Punjab. So when martial law was imposed in, martial law was imposed in Punjab, now bhai, Britishers as they are, so martial law was imposed. Lot of people were not aware about that martial law. They went and gathered at Jallianwala Bagh, a park basically, right, where people celebrate Baisakhi every year. On which time, beta? 13th of April. So, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, a day of Baisakhi where people gathered to celebrate, was not aware about the military rule, martial law. Dyer entered. Who was Dyer? The General Dyer, in charge of that martial law. He entered, blocked the exit, started open firing on unarmed crowd. And we know the rest. The story, the bullet signs still exist on that place. So, Indian reaction was, crowd came on the street. They killed a lot of people over here. People came on streets, attacked government buildings, strike was done. But the Britishers, what they did after this was quite brutal. Right? It was brutal. Terrorize and humiliate people. Ask people to rub their noses on the ground, crawl on the streets, do salam sahib, etc. Get it, beta? So whenever question comes, write like this. Ajay, someone is leaking the number. Let me call you. Do you want me? Okay. Balraj is asking, Rowlatt Act ko Imperial Legislative Assembly, why passed it in hurry? Balraj, because during that time, lot of revolutionary activities were going in India. Because if you remember, the Indian National Congress was divided into the extremes and moderates. Not extrovert. Extremist and moderates. So, long time nothing was going in India, because of that revolutionary activities like attacks on British officers, trains, hijack, etc. This was going on. That's the reason. Okay. Thank you, Aruna, for hitting the subscribe button. I hope you like the classes. Great. No ma'am, it's free fire number. Okay, so I get it now. So this was the topic beta, roll tag. Everyone clear with this? Moving towards the next topic, that is Simon Commission. That is what beta? Simon Commission. By now comes your Simon Commission. What is Simon Commission? So this is a commission, right? Commission that came to India in 1928. Myself, Abhishek. Okay, Abhishek. I'll call you Abhishek. Right? So it came to India in 1928. I'll tell you. But in 1919, there was an act, that is Act of Government of India. Act that was passed by Government of India. Matlab that time Government of India was British government. Sorry, not Government of India. Act was passed by British government. And in this act, they said that after 10 years, we will make a commission that will basically work on the constitutional development of India and suggest any changes. And suggest what beta? Suggest any changes. Okay. So in 1928, this commission was made. Okay, fine. By setting up of Simon Commission, what happened? They chose a leader who, the head of this commission was John Simon, on whose name this commission is like named as. And they made 7 other members other than John Simon in this committee. But all those were beta, no Indian member was there. All those were Britishers. So people of India was like, bhai, we are getting the constitution. You are making the constitution for us. And now you're keeping whom here? Britishers. How it will work? So the people of India like were against this commission, greeted the slogan Simon, go back, and treated them with the black flags, etc. Get it, beta? Yes, man. This is how it impacted. Yes, it impacted. That people raised their voice for the first time, and then they will ask for Purna Swaraj the next year. The eyes were open that Britishers will not make the law for us. We will make the law. Lot of commission were made after that, Nehru Commission and all that, that we Indians are going to make the law for it. Get it? How it impacted the Indians particularly. This is how it impacted. Get it? Give me a thumbs up if this question is clear to all the students watching me right now. Tell me. And this was the story. Next question. Great. I will not fail, I repeat. I will not fail, I repeat. Edit. Beta, you will not only fail by writing this, you will not fail just by studying. So don't write it again and again. This is not going to help you anymore. One and only thing that is going to help you is to study. And if you are wasting your time doing this, not happen. Okay, I remember all of you guys. Someone was asking, ma'am, I'm Aruna, do you remember? Yes, beta, I remember. Duration. Why do you worry about duration when you have exam today? It can go like 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. until I am pretty sure that my students are now benefited by this life. Okay, until then we are not going to end this life today. Hi ma'am, I am Anju. Did you remember? Yes, Anju. I remember you, beta. I remember everyone. Because see, I have come live just not to teach what I want. I came here live just to know that what are the doubts you guys have. Okay. So if you guys have any doubt, you are free to ask like you were doing up till now. Okay, great. Now the next question is, write a short note on Salt March by. So Salt March come as a result of civil disobedience movement or as a part of civil disobedience movement. So as a part of civil disobedience movement, let us talk about that. See what happened, beta, in 1928. Right? In 1928, what came? Simon Commission came. In 1928, what came, beta? Simon Commission came in India. Now, Simon Commission came and said that, bhai, we will make the constitution for you. People get agitated and nahi bhai. So in 1929, in the session of Indian National Congress organized at Lahore, the people demanded Purna Swaraj. So what was made the agenda? Purna Swaraj. That means complete independence. What made the agenda? So as that independence was made the agenda, what happened out of this Purna Swaraj, for the demanding of Purna Swaraj, Gandhiji, right? Gandhiji said, Acha, let's give Britishers a chance. I am presenting this 11 demands to Britishers. Who was the viceroy at that time? Irwin. Irwin was, however, not that strong, right? But 11 demands were presented to Irwin. Gandhiji said that, Irwin, if you accept this demand, then it's well and good. But if you don't accept this demand, then I am going to launch what? CDM. What CDM? Civil Disobedience Movement. And as accepted, Irwin rejected the demand, right? So when these 11 demands were not fulfilled on till 11th of March, see how dates they were choosing smartly. So till 11th of March, glad to know that this is one of the date easiest to remember, because 11-11 we can match, otherwise it would be difficult to remember one more date. Right? So 11 demands, if not fulfilled till 11th March, we will start what? Salt March. Basically CDM, and it was started from 12th of March. What was done, beta? From Sabarmati Ashram, along with 78 delegates, what happened? Gandhiji started walking towards Dandi. Dandi was a coastal town in Gujarat where they went and broke the salt law. What they did, beta? They went and broke the salt law. So Gandhiji started this march from Sabarmati Ashram. It was 240 miles, 24 days, 10 miles a day, and broke the salt law. And that is how we call it civil disobedience, means breaking the law. And it's different from non-cooperation in this way. Why did Gandhiji choose non-cooperation at the earliest time? Beta, in that non-cooperation also, the agenda of Gandhiji was that we will first non-cooperate, boycott it, will attack on the economy of Britishers, and if we are successful in that, then we will move to CDM, okay? Because don't you think that people were ready for this at that time? No. Gandhiji came in India at the time where people lacked in what? Unity majorly. So what was important to do the groundwork, which he did through non-cooperation movement. Okay, great. So did you guys had your lunch? Or just studying? However, how you guys are studying, I can see that Free Fire number being shared here. How? He could use Satyagrah. He used Satyagrah only. Hi ma'am, how are you? Hi Shanku, I am very good. How are you, bacha? So, okay, so I hope you guys are also waiting that ma'am please stop so that we can have our lunch, and that's what I'm doing. Taruni is asking for map work, but at the end of the session I have map work also, don't worry about that. Tomorrow also we will be doing about map work. Okay, so I am taking a 15-minute break. You guys also take a break. This is a 15-minute break for lunch. This will be more visible to you. Okay, so we are just taking a 15-minute break for lunch. You guys also do lunch. Come back soon on time so that we can study further. Okay, fine. Give me a thumbs up that will you guys be coming back or not. Okay, hi to everyone who recently joined. I will be back in 15 minutes. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. Thanks. I know that you wanted lunch badly and time break badly. Yeah, only 15 minutes. How long do you want? Hello everyone, are you guys done with your lunch? Can we proceed with the session now? Just let me know. Hi everyone, hello guys, hello to all of you here. So now I think we should start with the session again. We'll proceed with the session again. Everyone is here. I hope that the time was enough for your lunch, right? Now we will take the next break as tea break. Up till then, we have to study with our full concentration. Okay? Very good. Fine. Now, after this break, let's proceed with the second question, that is, name the social groups that participated in the non-cooperation movement. Explain in detail any three of them. Okay, good question. This is an NCERT question basically, and a lot of times being like asked in CBSE exam, it's repeated a lot of times. So, my dear students, NCM, that is non-corporation movement, was started with a program of boycotting the government institutions, government products like liquor, government clothes, etc. That means Britishers, I am telling you, British government. Okay, the boycott of all of them, and that is why it is known as non-cooperation, that we are not going to cooperate with you. However, this movement was started with the demand of Swaraj. Okay, this was started with the demand of what, beta? Swaraj. Here the question is about name the social groups, the groups that participated, and explain any three of them. So we have four groups to write here, that the middle class participants participated in the town. Then there were peasants in the countrysides, there were tribals, and there were plantation workers too. How to explain all of them? Let us understand, beta. So when I talk about the people or the movement in the towns, the participants were middle class people. Who were the participants? The participants were the middle class people. Very good. And they believed that let's follow the policy adopted by Gandhiji, that is boycott of foreign goods, okay, boycott of foreign goods and foreign liquor. And if I talk about the result of it, yes, it affected the economy very nicely. Like it brought the income of British government at that time from 121 crore to 67 crore. So impact was harsh. Yes, it was harsh. If I talk about peasants in the countryside, beta, peasants were suffering from revenue policy of Britishers, some types of taxes applied by them like Chaukidari tax and many more certain things like that, right? They were affected a lot. So, because of this, peasants started their satyagraha, particularly in the place known as Awadh. So here we can write about Awadh peasant satyagraha. Okay, also mention the demands of these peasants in this answer. Get it, beta? Fine. Now if I talk about this third point, that is tribal people. However, we have to explain any three, but we will talk about all of four today. So tribals, when we talk about, see, tribal peoples lives in forest, and British came and occupied those forests, took right over the resources of that forest. So tribals said that if I talk about tribal people, they are the people who consider forest as their homeland. They are so much emotionally attached to that forest. They are so much attached to that forest. So if I talk about these tribal people, here there is a person, Alluri Sitaraman Raju, if you remember. Alluri Sitaram Raju. What he did? So he fought against the Britishers. However, it was captured and killed and became a folk hero in this region. Which region? I want you, from you. All of you guys are engaged in talking with each other, asking each other friends. Now it is the time, beta. Done with lunch break. I know that after that every one of us is like feeling sleepy. But we are done with it. Let's come back here to the answers. Alluri Sitaraman Raju in the tribal belt started what, beta? A revolt. However, he was captured by Britishers. Same as plantation workers. So an act was imposed by Britishers, that is Inland Immigration Act. According to this act, the workers working in the plantation area like coffee and tea plantation areas, tea and coffee plantation area, what happened? What happened, beta? Here they were not allowed to move outside these plantation areas. So these plantation workers said that now we want Gandhi and Raj to be replaced by this British Raj. Getting my point? And this is how non-cooperation was spread among different social groups. Clear to all of you or not? Ma'am, for class 9th, how much mark will they conduct exam? Class 9th, 80 marks beta, 80 marks paper will come in your exam. Ma'am, it's my birthday today. Hi Dia, happy birthday. Hope you are telling me the truth. By the way, happy birthday Dia. 92% hai. Ashika is like 92. Mere is 999. Everyone faking here right now. Ma'am, for class 9, how much marks will they conduct exam for SST? It is 80 marks paper. 80 ratio 20. 20 will be for internal assessment and 80 will be the main exam. Tell me beta, is this question clear to all of you and understandable that this is how we have to write in our exam? Hi Harshit, how are you? Glad to see you here back in the class. Enjoying the summer vacations or not? Ma'am, solo yaad hai. Yes, I remember solo edits. You're here. Are you also giving the second board exam for SST? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mere. Ma'am, I got 95.7. That's great, Dia. However, are you giving the second board examination? I'm fine. Great. Okay, so we are done with this question. Name the social groups. Beta, in this chapter, second chapter, again, there were a lot of students out there who asked many questions in the first chapter. If you still have any question in the second chapter of history, that is nationalism in India, please ask. This is the time I'm giving you right now. Ask it. Okay. So what are the important topics from this chapter? First World War and its influence in raising of the nationalism. Okay. Then we know about Gandhian Satyagraha. Focus upon Champaran. Focus upon what? Champaran. Then Kheda, Ahmedabad. Champaran, Kheda, Ahmedabad. I would suggest more focus should be on what? Identifying them on map. We are going to do map work for this. Plus, we have to focus on Rowlatt Satyagraha. So, how the question can come from this topic? By that, write a short note on Rowlatt Satyagraha. What was the response of Indians on Rowlatt Satyagraha? So, crowd gathered on streets, lines of communications were cut down, right? Transport was affected, etc. Now, Rowlatt Satyagraha, Britishers' response on Rowlatt Satyagraha, we know that local leaders were picked up, Gandhiji was barred from entering Delhi, violence increased, etc. Okay, very good. Non-cooperation movement, what we have to study is beta. Reason for launching non-cooperation movement, then program like boycott and all that thing. ठीक है, agenda basically. Then events. In events, then we will talk about participants, and last is about withdrawal. Acha, give me the answer. What is the reason for the withdrawal of non-cooperation movement? Tell me. Let me see who is there. Abhi solo ja raha hai. Okay, solo, bye-bye. I don't care what my result is. I just look straight forward towards my goal. That's great. Okay, Anshika, I get it. You just came here to find your old friends and hope that you got your friends, right? So you were also the part of live sessions at that time. Great. Ma'am, up class 11 science stream class. It will happen. Anshika, not on this channel. We have another channel. That is Deeksha Karnataka, right? This is Deeksha Vedantu, and here it is for class 9th and class 10th. We have one more mother channel. You can watch the classes for NEET particularly on that channel, not on this channel, okay? It is Deeksha Karnataka. You can search on YouTube and you will get it. Knowledge hack. I got 53 out of 100. So 53 is less. Do you need to improve that? That's the reason you're going to give the exam tomorrow. Chauri Chaura. Very good. Finally, I got the answer of the question I asked. That is Chauri Chaura movement. Yes. So it was in 1922 It was in 1922. In this incident, that is Chauri Chaura, that happened in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, right? That happened in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. Violence was there. So the violence happened by Britishers only. So people were peacefully protesting because of this non-cooperation movement. Policemen came, attacked that people. Now Indian people got agitated. They burned the police station. 22 British men were killed at that time. Okay, 22, and this is the reason non-cooperation movement was withdrawn. Acha, what is the reason for the withdrawal of civil disobedience? Beta, see, focus the same thing, reason, programs, events, then participants, as well as reason for the withdrawal in this non-cooperation part also. Now second question from you bacha is, what is the reason for the withdrawal of civil disobedience movement? Hi everyone, hello to everyone, thank you so much ma'am, welcome beta. Ma'am, I got less marks in SST, that's why I am giving, that's why I am teaching. Okay, Gandhiji had to withdraw the movement because he didn't want violence. Correct. Second round table conference. Now again with the same person, it's Vimal Store named as a YouTube profile, telling me the answer, second round table conference. Yes, so see, not just second round table conference, but yes, the talks between Irwin and Gandhiji, right? So what happened? Gandhi-Irwin Pact, more precisely, more correctly, what is the reason for the withdrawal of civil disobedience movement was Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Now what happened? Gandhiji on behalf of Indian National Congress and Irwin on the behalf of British India met each other when civil disobedience was going on. Gandhiji was put to jail because all the leaders were arrested. Now Irwin thought this is the chance. So much of activities are going in India, and during the time I am the viceroy, I don't want to put my image as bad, right? So what I will do, I'll do what? I'll go to Gandhiji and ask him that stop this movement. So Gandhiji said that, am I fool? Why will I stop this movement? Then Irwin played the game. Irwin said that, acha, what we can do is, I will accept your demands, you accept my demands. What were the demands? Like 11 demands that Gandhiji put in place. Right? So Irwin said that, see, I will accept all your demands. I will reduce the salt tax. I will reduce the taxes. I will free your political prisoners. Now, this was the game. Here, Irwin said to Gandhiji that I am going to release all the political prisoners who are not guilty of offense what they have done. But you have to accept two things. You have to withdraw this CDM and what? Attend the second round table conference. Attend the second round table conference that was being organized in London. For what? To decide the constitutional development for India. Right? Clear? Is it clear to everyone? This is it. Last but not the least important topic from this chapter is beta, sense of collective belonging. Sense of collective belonging. So similarly, as we have this topic in the last chapter, that is rise of nationalism in Europe, we have this for India also, that how did the sense of collective belonging emerged among the people of India. So it was with the help of pictures. In this pictures or images, we can talk about Bharat Mata, painted by Abanindranath Tagore, but written by visioned by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in his novel Anand Mat. So yes, we can write about pictures and images, we can write about flags, we can write about hymns and poetries, like also done by Rabindranath Tagore and all. So, okay, Natesha Sastri. And then we can talk about reinterpretation of history. Reinterpretation of history. These are the points that you need to write if the question comes that how was their sense of belonging among the people of India and how it raised what? How it raised nationalism. I want to join Vedantu. Great to know that. Abanindranath Tagore, very nice, who painted the picture. Bharat Mata, very good. And Chandragupta Maurya ko. Acha, you guys are talking. Yes, for SST only. Okay, you filled the improvement form for only SST only. Great to know this. You are okay. Done with this chapter? Moving to the next chapter. Anyone who has doubt in this chapter, tell me. Any doubt, any question from this chapter from my side that I need to answer you? Ma'am, I am Asik Khan. Ashika it is. Ma'am, I am Asik Khan. Okay, beta, welcome. Right? Any questions from this chapter, or shall we move to the second one? Just a thumbs up from your side so that I can understand no doubts are in your mind. Hi. Great. Fine. No questions, no doubts. Moving to the next question, right? What do I need to explain again? Do you want me to explain the entire chapter again? Arey bhai, refer the topic. What do you want to let me explain? Because I'm taking live here since like more than 1.5 hours, and you are telling just ma'am explain again. What? Which topic? Explain the role of, now here comes the questions, very good. Explain the role of women in CDM, Subramanyam. Subramanyam beta, yes, this question comes and it is even in NCRT also, that what is the role of women in CDM, civil disobedience movement? Beta, the role is that whenever the revolution was going on, the participation of women, when we compare it from NCM to CDM, it increased a lot. Right? The boycott of foreign clothes. The foreign clothes were burned into bonfire by women. Women were found picketing outside the liquor shops. Who were doing that? Women. When men were going out for satyagraha, who was taking care of the families? Women. In Salt March, out of that 78 delegates, there were a lot of women participated along with Gandhiji, and one among them was Sarojini Naidu. Get it? This is the role. Ma'am, why did Gandhi-Irwin Pact ended without any conclusion? Beta, why did? Because when Gandhiji went to second round table conference, when Gandhiji went to second round table conference, no result came. Because what happened? They did not only call Gandhiji. Gandhiji just represented Indian National Congress. There were a lot of people, like someone representing women of India, someone representing the suppressed class of India. Like if I talk about particularly Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So the ideologies of B.R. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi clashed in that second round table conference, and it became failed somewhere. Right? Similarly, as Irwin promised to release the political prisoners who are not being guilty, but he didn't release Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev. We are aware about that. So that's the reason that it ended without any conclusion, because when Gandhiji came back and started the CDM again, there was no the frequency of that movement dropped down eventually. Okay. Just last topic. Yeah, no issues. Explain civil disobedience movement. Beta, civil disobedience movement is a big topic. I'll explain you in brief. So CDM, civil disobedience movement, came into force. See, Simon Commission was brought in India for constitution development. What was brought in India? Simon Commission. Pay attention. But what happened? They were all men that were British. So Indian men were not there. We boycotted Simon Commission with the slogan, Simon, go back. Now what happened? We realized that we have to make our constitution. For that we need what? Purna Swaraj. So 1929 we decided Purna Swaraj is the demand of Indian National Congress for next years. So it was done, and there it was first time it was decided we will launch CDM. Gandhiji said, acha, hold on, let's keep some demands in front of Irwin. If he agreed, then well and good. If he did not agree, we will start the movement. And as we know, Irwin denied. CDM happened with Salt March. Okay, how it ended? With Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Limits of CDM, please. Diya Maurya. Okay, Diya. Now you guys are studying. Now this is the time you guys are studying. Now I get it. So we will talk about limitations of CDM. Limitations of CDM. CDM is civil disobedience movement. Beta, there are two major limits of CDM, that is non-participation of Dalits, right? Non-participation of Dalits as well as no participation of Muslim community in this CDM. We will talk about them briefly. So when we say about Dalits were the people who were considered as the lowest class in the Indian caste system from centuries. We are aware, and what has been the treatment to them, we are also aware about that. So there was a leader, that was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was representing this suppressed class, right? Now, when I talk about this class particularly, see, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had certain demands which he put up in second round table conference. In second round table conference, that by the demand was, one among the demand was to have separate electorate. To have separate electorate. Now, what is separate electorate? That in election, if a Dalit member stands and contests the election, only Dalit people can give the vote. So, Gandhi ji said that by providing this separate electorate, we are making them more aloof from the Hindu society. They are the part of Hindu society and I can't give them separate electorate, and hence as a result, after later, right, the result was that when a pact was signed, right, so the result was that reservation will be, reserved seats will be provided to them both in legislative, like both in the central legislative assembly as well as the state too. So we know that the reservation came into existence in the education system and all that just because of this. Okay, clear? Very good. Now coming towards the limitation, that is about Muslim community. So beta, if you remember non-cooperation movement, it came out of Khalifa issue, Khilafat issue. It came out of Khilafat issue. Now what is Khilafat issue? That Khalifa, who was the head of Muslim society, was taken by, the powers were taken by, from Khalifa as a result of First World War, because the central powers did not win the war and Turkey was the part of the central power. So all the powers were taken by Khalifa, but in this NCM somewhere this issue vanished. So next time when CDM was launched, the differences between the Indians, among the Indians as Hindu and Muslims, increased a lot, due to which Muslims did not participate in. Okay, clear? So whoever asks this question, limitations of CDM, clear with you or not? Anything else from this chapter, beta? Anything else from this chapter? Who knows Neeraj Papsu? Who is this? Okay, let's wait. Which ID you have? Fine. Which ID are you talking about? Arey bhai, study. Free Fire, Insta on or off. My God. No, ma'am. Great, great. Fine. So limitations of CDM is done. Now let's talk about the important, most repeated question. The important and the most repeated question, beta. Most important question that is going to come for how many marks? 2 marks in your exams. From the chapter Making of Global World, you can take your paper that came in 2026 and you will find out that this question was there in your exam. Okay, and what is that question? Explain what? Silk Route, right? So the Silk Route are good examples of pre-modern vibrant trade and cultural links between distant part of the world. Explain with example. Lot of question, lot of time this question came into exam. Silk Route was not a single road but a complex ancient network of overland trails and maritime. Wow, what explanation. Very good, beta. So yes, see what happened. Let me tell you with drawing something. See what happened na? Like see, if it is North America, this is South America. Don't go on my drawing, it's so rough. So this was Eurasia, this was Africa, and this was Africa, and then we got this Australia. So if I talk about Silk Route from here, like China, right, from China, Chinese silk was taken over to Europe. right? Chinese silk was taken over to Europe. But these routes was not single. There were a lot of land as well as maritime routes connecting Asia with Europe with north of Africa. Right? Not only the silk, rather along with the silk, Chinese pottery was also exported, right? Indian spices was also imported. Major thing is other than that, we have cotton also being exported. So a lot of items were being exported. In return, however, we got the payment in gold and silver, okay, or precious metals. So this is basically silk route is route made up of land and maritime. Yes, ma'am. You got a message, ma'am. Any one shot was uploaded or not where all the chapters were explained? Yes, Knowledge Hacker, there is one shot academic video of all chapters of SST in one video on the same channel. On the same channel you will get it. Like, go to my previous videos at the time when SST exam was done. I made lot of videos at that time regarding like what you are asking, that in a single video you can study all those important questions with best explanation I could made it possible. Okay, so you can watch them, go and watch them easily, you can get it. Okay, or go to the playlist that's being already made on the channel. There also you will get all these type of what one shots. Okay, coming back to the question, how you are going to answer this question is, historians have identified several silk routes over land and by sea, connecting the vast region of Asia with Europe and North Africa. This is what I told you with the example right now, this is that drawing right now. Now, this name Silk Route points the importance of westbound Chinese silk cargoes. So, what was being carried? Silk cargoes. But it was not just silk. Imagine if question comes, what were the items of exports in the silk route? Right? So it was Chinese pottery also traveled from the same route. There were textiles and spices from India and Southeast Asia. However, in return, what do we get, beta? Precious metals. Right? One more question. Along with the trade, there was also sharing of culture too. This question also comes for 2 marks. So, with the help of this silk route, there was sharing of culture too. Explain them with the help of example. Right? Explain them with the help of example. So, by early Christian missionaries and Muslim preachers traveled through this route. How Christianity came to India? Via this route. How Islamism came to India? Via this route. How Buddhism from India reached to China and other parts of the world? Through this route. Getting my point? So it was give and take by this. It was an intersection. Right? These particular routes were intersections. Okay? Get it? Clear? Okay, fine. Any doubts from this chapter, beta? Any doubts? Great. No doubts. Fine. Moving to the next question. Next question. And next question. What is the next question? Traders and travelers introduce new crops to land that they travel. Substantiate the statement with illustration. So when travelers were moving from one place to another, right? When travelers were moving from one place to another, there was exchange of lot of items, and in that items were food too. Okay, what are the examples, beta? So we will give the examples of spaghetti and noodles which moved from or traveled from China. From China, like in China it was noodles. When it moved to west of the world, what happened? It became spaghetti, right? Arab traveler took pasta to 5th century Sicily. See, Arab travelers took pasta to Sicily and then it became the Italian dish. Great or not? Yes. Many of our common foods such as potato, soya, groundnut, maize, tomato, chili, sweet potato, we can't even think our food without them right now. And they were not in the item of Indian foods. Imagine this. So this came accidentally to India Because Christopher Columbus reached America, right? From America, he brought this food to Europe, and when Britishers and Portuguese came into India, this food came to India. So this is the example of that food also traveled along with the traders. That food also traded with other items of imports and exports too, right? So get it clear? Any other doubt? Ma'am, agriculture. Harshit, agriculture is also the part of the session. Don't worry about that. All the questions will be asked. All the chapters will be covered. Don't worry. Fine? Clear? Great. Yes, exact. No, biryani origin is not in Pakistan. Biryani is originated in Persia, right? It was not in Pakistan. Like you are saying, biryani originated in Pakistan, famous in India. By Pakistan and India was same. That's undivided India. So it came from Persia to undivided India and got famous both in Pakistan and India. Not this. The case, what you are telling me is not correct. Okay, great. Fine. Now next question is, so see, there are like very small chapter this is, and only 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3 is going to come from this making of global world. Diseases like leads to conquest. New food crops lead to the question of life and death. Anyone who can interpret what are these statements telling us? See, there are two cases in this chapter. How can disease leads to conquest? So this is about Spanish conquest, right? Spanish conquest due to smallpox. Due to smallpox that was spreaded in America, because the people of America was not immune to this disease, and it was bought by Europeans and got spreaded. And this is how Spanish people got a chance to conquer this region, because they got like weak. The people got weak. How can new food leads to the question of life and death? Here, beta, you will write the example of which case about that humble potato, right? Humble potato bought from where? America. Introduced in Ireland, right? Once what happened? Disease spread in this humble potato, and this Irish people who become so dependent, the poor people became so dependent upon it, right? Faced famine and a lot of people perished. Hi ma'am, I want to know that which topic of SST is more important. Devik Tyagi, this is what we are discussing in today's live session. Whatever are the important and the most repeated questions I'm discussing here, rest on the same platform today. What I am going to upload a video is a long video where I'm telling you all the important questions and topics going to come in your exams. For that, you just need to hit the subscribe button. You will get the notification whenever my video is uploaded. Okay, hi ma'am, I want to know this topic. Yes, I have put lot of videos on the channel beta regarding important topics. Today also a fresh video is going to come. Other than that, I'm going live for 2 days just for all of my students who are giving second board examination, right? Today also and tomorrow also, right? Are you asking SST or total? Sorry. Okay, ma'am, thank you. Fine, welcome. Hi, ma'am. How are you? I'm good, Beehive. I remember you were the part of the live sessions we took in during the time of exams. So are you also giving the second board exam for SST? Is it? Okay, moving to the next question after this making of global world, and here the question is from power sharing. Basically, we are starting beta civics, right? We are starting civics. So one and the easy question in front of you. Ma'am, thank you. I got 91 in SST by watching your videos alone. That's great to hear this. It's great. Thank you, beta. And I'm like proud of you getting 91 marks. Very good. Hope you just perform very well in your future exams also. All the best for your future. Okay. Now, next question is, what are the different forms of power sharing in modern democracies? Beta, this is an important 5-marker question that comes in exams a lot of times, right? Important what? A 5-marker question that comes in exams. So, different forms of power sharing in which democracy? By modern democracy. So, the power can be shared in different forms in modern democracies. Right? The power can be shared in different forms in modern democracies as follows. 4 points are among different organs of government. By what happens? See, in a democracy, if we give power to single person, the person will become corrupt for sure. The person cannot rule the entire country holding all the powers in its hands, because then he will lose that capacity to think about the people. That's very obvious, right? The rights of the people, the demands of the people will not be entertained. Hence, to create a smooth running of governance, we need to divide power so that it is not utilized in a wrong manner. The first example is, right? The first example is among different organs of government. Among different what? Organs of government, bacha. So, power can be shared among different levels of, not levels, among different organs of government, like in between legislature, executive and judiciary. See, central government makes the law, executes the law, figure out if that law is correct for the nation or not. But in the central government, if we give that power to single hand, problem. So, legislature makes the law, executive implements the law, and judiciary upholds the law. This is known as horizontal sharing of power by this word, right? This word, like write it in your mind right now. Horizontal, vertical, checks and balances, federal. Question comes a lot of time. Ma'am, I suffered from health issues during exam time. Your videos helped me a lot. Thank you so much. Welcome, beta. Welcome for these words. Ma'am, print culture. Bhool gaye. No, I remember print culture. Meanwhile, I was teaching this. I got that print culture questions are not there. I will deal with them. We will talk about print culture chapter 2. What was going here, ma'am? Beta, studies are going here. Okay, ma'am, tell them to stop their arguments. They will not listen, beta. They will not listen. Stop the people who are just spamming here. You can go find some other place to spam, because there are a lot of students studying from me who are getting distracted just by your random messages coming here regarding your games. So I just request you very nicely, go to another live where you can do that, not here. Okay, coming back to the question we were dealing was sharing of power in modern democracies. First one is among different organ, second is among different level by, right? Central level, union government. State level, state government. Local level, local government. How power is shared? Vertically. So it is known as vertical sharing of power. And it is also known as federal form of government. You know now what is federalism because you read a chapter entirely on this topic, right? Great. Next is among different social groups by. So what happened? Like if we are living in country like India, we have multiple social groups. We walk from one border to another and we will find a person with different language, different culture, different dressing style, etc. Right? Similarly, all these social groups have their different demands by the government. To entertain the demands, we need to give them some rights. Yes. So what happened, beta, in a country which have different social groups, power needs to be shared among different communities. The best example is, do you remember the case of Belgium? Yes, you do. What happened? There were Dutch people, there were French people, there were German speaking people. What they do? They made community government in Belgium. They made what beta? Community government in Belgium. And this is the example of power shared among different social groups. Power shared among different social groups. Did you get this? Very good. Next is among different political parties. So everyone is hearing those news of like coalition being made in Tamil Nadu, right? coalition being made in Tamil Nadu with what? With Congress, right? So what is that? That's power sharing. And there are a lot of pressure groups who are pressurizing the government that by this policy needs to be followed, this policy needs to be implemented. So what's that? Power sharing. So yes, power is shared among different political party, pressure groups and movements. Okay, how many parties do we have? Beta, we have more than 750 political parties in India. But if you talk about how many national political parties do we have, they are 6 in number. This question, yes, this question can come in exam. Yes. Hello, ma'am. Yes, beta. Hello, how are you? Yeah, the question can come in exam. Okay, great. Next question, let's move to the next question. Describe the way in which power was shared among different social groups in Belgium. Now, very good question. See, we read the case of Belgium. We will figure out that by in Belgium, the majority community in the country was Dutch speaking people. They were Dutch speaking people, right? How many percentage? How many percentage? Who is going to tell me? How many percentage of Dutch speaking people were there in Belgium? Right? After that, beta, what happened? Those people were in majority in the country, but minority in the capital. So that tussle happens between those communities, resulting into civil crisis, like civil tensions were there. So finally, the government decided, let's make a community government. So here question is about how the power is shared in the Belgium, that civil war, civil crisis, like reduce, not war, crisis or civil tensions we will say. Okay? Very good. Who is answering me? 59%? Subramanyam. Very good, Subramanyam. 20% Sultan. This is the 20% you are going to get in exam if you will answer this. It's 59% of the Dutch speaking people in the country. Arey bhai. Situation is worst. So, yes, let's talk about the Belgium first. Now, see, civil tensions rose because the communities were not feeling that equal rights were being given to them, especially the Dutch people, because French people, 80% French people were in the capital. However, in the country, Dutch people were more and they were expecting that we should enjoy the rights. We should enjoy all those government benefits, but eventually it was not being enjoyed by them. And hence, they made a constitution in which 4 times they changed. Basically, 4 amendments were made in the constitution. How many amendments were made? 4 amendments were made in the constitution. First is that by powers in the central government will be such that, pay attention, the members in the central government will be such that there will be 50-50% from both the communities. There will be 50-50% from both the communities. So the number of Dutch and the French speaking will be equal in the central government. This was the first thing they did. Second is, if we leave all the powers in the hands of central government, as I said, they will become corrupt. They will not share the rights with, they will not share the rights equally with the governments or, communities living in different regions. So hence power needs to be shared with the state governments. And this is what is known as federalism. So yes, many powers of the central government has been taken and given to state government, and they were now no longer subordinate to the central government. Okay? Great. Next is Brussels have a separate government. Capital city like Delhi have a government. Here also there will be equal weightage to both the communities. Very good. They will frame a next government, that is community government. There were 3 communities living in Belgium. Dutch, French, German. Now we will make a community government, like making more like structure as difficult. Yes, but it helped a lot. Third type of government, special community government needed. Why? So that beta, they can make laws regarding to their culture, education and language. Culture, education and language. Now, no one is going to create interference on the culture of another person, language or education related laws. Problem sorted. Great, this is it. Good morning, ma'am. Anil Kumar, wake up. It's not morning, it's afternoon. Bye. What is this time of saying good morning, guys? About forms of power sharing. Yeah, we just did forms of power sharing. Great. Pankaj Kushwaha, do you want to get blocked or what? Even though Belgium was a small country, why did it adopt federalism, beta? Even though Belgium is a small country, but federalism is very important because see, in Belgium you will see there is a region, Flemish region, where the people who speaks the language Dutch lives. There is a region where French speaking people lives. Do you think that the central government can make the policies which is similar, liable to both the communities equally? No. The geographical things were different for both the regions. The community were different. How can a single law can rule over the country? Rather, some of the rights should be given to the state government for proper functioning. Understood? Hi, hello everyone. Hello guys, how are you doing? Okay, so this is done. The way in which power was shared among different social groups in Belgium. So if I talk about this chapter, power sharing, what is important, beta? Ethnic composition of Belgium, accommodation in Belgium, ethnic composition in Sri Lanka, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, prudential reasons for power sharing, moral reasons for power sharing, and forms of power sharing. Is this class still going on? Yes, Bharti, this class is still going on, beta. We will not end it like this, leaving you without making you understand everything. Okay, but federalism works only in big country. No. Why? What is this thinking that federalism works? It is not that. Federalism can work, the structure can work in any type of country. Not that. Okay? Acha, here are the topics that are important from the chapter power sharing. In case you guys have any doubt, please ask me. I'm just stopping to speak for just 2 minutes. I need a break. And meanwhile, you ask the doubts, then I'll discuss all of them. If you guys have doubts, please let me know. Okay, back with the questions. I just saw your comment that no doubts are there. Yes, this is an easy chapter and I know that you have no doubts. Let's move to the next chapter. Next chapter is about federalism. First question, repeat a lot of times. What are the different features of federalism? By learn it thoroughly. Question comes, you pick up the question paper, previous year question paper. You will find this question. What are the different features of federalism? Hi ma'am, hello beta. Yes, I'm back. So, federalism is basically a phenomena in the political sphere or the political life where it talks about sharing or division of power among different levels of government. Bhai, we know in India, we have a central government ruling the entire country. If you live in any state of India, obviously living in some state of India, so there will be a state government. When you go and sit the local level, you will see panchayat, municipalities. At every level, which is also known as tier, there is a government, and that is known as federalism. So now when we talk about features of federalism, beta, there are two or more levels of government. That means tiers of government. Correct, bhai? First feature is this. All these tiers, pay attention, all these tiers, what are these tiers doing? They are governing the same citizen. Like I am Tanvi, right? I am Tanvi, and for example, I live in Indore, in Madhya Pradesh. So in Madhya Pradesh, right? But I am an Indian citizen. So there is an Indian government at the central level who makes the law. Does it imply to Tanvi? Yes, it implies. Similarly, there is government in the state of Madhya Pradesh makes the law. Does it imply to Tanvi? Yes, it does. There is a municipal corporation in Indore which makes a law. We will not throw garbage on the roads. Does it imply to Tanvi? Yes. So don't you think that all these three levels of government governs the same citizen? Ha bhai. Yes, they governs the same citizen, but what is different among them is what is different among them is what are the powers for legislation, right? They are given some powers that on this only you can make the law. Powers for taxation, powers for administration. Like if I talk about Union Government of India, what is its administration capacity? Complete India. State government only in the state. Local government at the local level. So they governs the same citizen, but they have their specific jurisdiction, right? Jurisdiction means the work they want to do and the area on which they can do that work. Great, fine. Next is by the jurisdiction, from where this jurisdiction comes, who are going to tell these levels of government. So it is specified in the constitution, beta. These levels, this jurisdiction is specified where, bacha? In the constitution. The fundamental provision of the constitution cannot be unilaterally changed. Yes. And now these divisions are the fundamental provisions of the constitution, cannot be changed unilaterally. Unilaterally means by one level of government. However, court, there are chances there may be fight among these levels. So who has the power to interpret this constitution? So beta, court has the power to interpret this constitution. And because a lot of work is being done by this government, the sources of revenue is also listed in the constitution. These are what? These are the features of federalism, different features of federalism. Tell me, clear? I am from Delhi, I am from UP, everyone is telling me their respective places. Great. Okay. Bolo Ruchi ji, bolo, why are you not speaking? Tell him, do you want to do friendship with him or not? Arey bhai, don't pass your time, like what are you guys doing here? Okay, done with this question everyone? Great. Next question is 5 provisions of constitution amendment. Important question, most repeated questions. 5 provision of constitution amendment of 1992 that has strengthened the third tier of democracy in India. By in 1992, what happened? 1992, local government, that includes panchayats and municipalities was made a constitutional body. It was given the constitutional status. So now the question is asking you कि भाई how in 1992 it has strengthened the democracy. So beta, this is how it has strengthened. The answer written here is wrong. Let me tell you. This is the answer of the previous question. Somehow I missed writing the correct answer. Now I am telling you the correct one. So the first thing in 1992, these local governments, pay attention, these local governments got what beta? Constitutional status. Constitutional status. If I talk about these local governments, we have panchayats. Pay attention, we have panchayats at rural level, and then we have municipality at the urban level, right? By this 1992, as it was made constitutional, elections were made compulsory, right? Elections were made compulsory and regular after every how many years? 5 years. How many years? 5 years. For the elections of this, a separate state election commission will be made. A separate state election commission will be made that will be conducting free and fair elections at the local levels. Get it? Next is beta, reserved seats, right? Reserved seats were provided for ST, SC, right? ST, scheduled tribe, scheduled caste, and OBC. Great. Next important point is 1/3 reserved seats. 1/3 reserved seats will be provided to women. Regarding the source of revenue mentioned in the constitution, 5 points which will get you how many marks? 5 marks for the question. 1992 constitutional changes that helped to improve the democracy in India. Clear? Very good, very good. Great to see all of you guys here telling me that answer is clear to you. Next question from the same chapter, which is quite important. What makes India a federal country? What makes India a federal country? So we know India is a federal country. Do you guys agree that? Acha, is there in constitution anywhere written that India is a federal country? Tell me. Is there anywhere in the Indian constitution it is written that India is a federal country? Anyone who can tell me the correct answer? Okay, no, yes, nowhere in the Indian constitution, very good Subramanyam, nowhere Indian constitution it is written that India is a federal country. Rather it is being written that India, that is Bharat, shall be union of states. India, that is Bharat, shall be union of states. And why didn't we choose federal point to be written? Because we see that India has federal governments, union governments, state governments, local governments, bacha. But why don't we choose? Because this federalism comes with right of succession, right to secede away, That means like this is USA, United States of America. There are a lot of states over there. Because why I am taking the example of USA? Because USA is a perfect federal country. If any state want that I want to be independent and I don't want to be the part of United States of America, they can what? They can get separate away. They can separate away from them. And this is how to stay away from this situation, right? Okay, to get avoided by this situation, this was done, right? So this was done. ठीक है. How to go to Russia or Germany from BCA and MCA course from scholarship? Give me complete document list. And beta, you have reached to the wrong place for this. I can't tell you this information. ठीक है. It avoided separate away. The constitutionally clearly provided this. Okay, coming back to the question, what was it? What makes India a federal country? So these are certain provisions providing administrative and legislative divisions. Okay, so the constitution clearly provided threefold distribution of legislative power between the union and the state government. The first is beta, union list. See, coming back to the question, federalism, division of power among three levels of government. Union list, in which there are subjects of national importance, defense, foreign affairs, by banking. Who will take care of all these? Central government, because it is implemented same for the entire nation. So we can't give that in the hands of the state government. So there are topics which needs to be like ruled by or decided by a single government, that is union government. So union government alone can make laws related to these subjects. We have second one, that is state list. By the it contains the subjects which are of state and local importance. What are that? Police. Like when we say Indian Army, we say Indian Army, but we say police, Madhya Pradesh police, Karnataka police, right? Punjab police. So how it comes? Why? Because this is a state subject, and Indian Army, that means it is defense. It comes what? Beta, national subjects. There are a lot of topics that need to be discussed at the regional level. It comes in the state list. Who makes the law in that? State government. Next is concurrent list. There might be times when the decision both the governments are required. So in that case, when there are the subjects of common interest, right? Whenever there are the subjects of common interest, here both union and state government can make the law. Example, education, forest, trade union, marriage, adoption and successions. Right? If you are someone thinking that, ma'am, are these subjects we need to read? Yes. Are these subjects we need to remember? Yes. You have to. Lot of time question comes directly from these subjects, and many times MCQs come. So you have to do it. But when this constitution was made and this list was being prepared, do you think that IT was there? No. Do you think that AI was there? No. So how can we make law on those topics? So we put another list, that is residuary list. So case any of the subject is not listed over here, we can put it in third, last list, that's residuary list. And here union government will only make the law. Who makes the law, beta? Union government will only makes the law. Okay, and this is how we have a powerful union in the federal country, and that's why we write India, that is Bharat shall be union of the states. Clear? Students are like asking each other to stop. My God, what are you guys doing? If you're not studying here, you guys can leave. I'm okay with 10 students teaching, but those who actually want to learn from me, sorry. How to go to Russia or Germany? Why do you want to go to Russia and Germany? Beta, complete document list and procedure I can't give you, beta. You are on the wrong platform asking this question, how to go to Germany and Russia. I can't tell you this. I can only teach you SST and can guide you in my stream, nothing more than that. How can government change an act in the constitution? Beta, that is a procedure, that is Constitutional Amendment Act. It is written in the constitution. The procedure is 2/3 of the majority is required. Like for an example, we need any change in the constitution and any bill is being presented. The bill is known as Constitutional Amendment Bill by the government or by the opposition, and if it is required and accepted by two-thirds of the majority, pay attention, two-thirds of the majority in the parliament, then only it is passed. And if in case the bill is something very important from the main provisions of India, then it requires at least 50% of the states, like from approval from the state government also. Like when what GST was introduced, when goods and service tax came, it required change in the constitution. That means constitution amendment 2. At that time, it was passed by two-thirds of the majority in the parliament, as well as 50% of the approval of the state governments. Get it? This is the procedure. How to make change in the constitution. Good questions, very good. So what is important from this chapter? Federalism, features with it, what makes India a federal country with it. How is federalism practiced in India? This is again a good question. Here we can write about the formation of linguistic states. Linguistic states, yes, we adopted, first we denied, but we formed the states on the basis of language, like Gujarat, like Maharashtra, etc. Then we can talk about language policy. Language policy, we do not have any national language, we have official language, that is English and Hindi, right? And then it is about center and state relations. So there are a lot of, if I talk about center-state relations, initially it was just Congress dominating the country, but later regional powers came into, which resulted into the formation of a lot of coalition government. Yes. Get it? So federalism. No, beta, yeah, I remember we will do print culture, or we will do that tomorrow then. Okay? Fine. So federalism, important topics are here. Decentralization is also very important. That is same one. 1992. Like making local governments as the constitutional body. Clear? Great. Okay. Next chapter is about gender, religion and caste. Next chapter is about what? Gender, religion and caste. And the first and the most important question that comes from this topic is, what are the ways in which women are discriminated since many years? Right? Ways in which women are discriminated since many years. What we have to write, beta? 5 points, 5 marks. Question will come. 5 points, 5 marks. Discrimination in education, where we can see clear differences in the literacy rate of men and women, 76%, 54%. Second is about unequal pay. Yes, we are aware about that. Men's pay scale is more than women in all the spheres. If I talk about sex ratio, number of females born above males, it's 919 over 1000 boys, right? And in many parts of India, even it's less than 850, particularly in the states of Haryana, Punjab and Western UP. Okay, then domestic violence increasing day by day, harassment, exploitation, but still people remember that blue drum. So I'm not being sarcastic here, but still domestic violence is like, if I talk about one report that was presented recently, and that report was up till 2024. Anything is bad, violence from side of girl or boy. It was just a sarcastic comment. But the point over here is, see, according to a recent report, there are still 70% of the women in India, which are facing harassment, exploitation or violence against them in any form. It can be verbal or it can be physical, right? The next is about women's political representation as low as possible in the country. If I talk about some of the educated countries in the world, these are the only few countries, Norway, Sweden or Scandinavian countries, which are performing well in political representation. What about India? So India is such that we have 14.36% of women only in Lok Sabha or Parliament of India. And the situation of the state legislative assemblies are even worse. It is just 5% of the women, right? And recently that bill also came in debate, that we will implement that bill, the reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, only when we complete the census and all that debates, and women reservation bill was going on. Hi man, hi Rishabh, I'm seeing your message, don't worry. So good afternoon Ayush Nayak, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So did you guys heard that controversy regarding that women reservation bill in recent times? Are you guys active in news also or not? Okay, I can see nobody is active over all these current affairs going in the world. In India, don't talk about world, at least study about India. Okay, so what are the ways in which women are being discriminated right in front of your screen? What makes India a secular country? What is secularism, beta? Secularism is a political term which defines that all the religions in the nations are welcome. So people have the right to practice, propagate and profess any religion of their choice. This is what secularism means. Right, ma'am? BMW or Mercedes, anything which I get in gift is okay for me. Okay, either it be BMW or Mercedes. If someone is going to give me, then I'll take it. Ma'am, I got 98 in SST. Yeah, that's great, BMW girl. That's great. Ma'am, I'm aware about Waqf board. Okay, Waqf board you are aware about. Good girl. Good boy, whatever you are. Sorry. 98 in SST by that girl. That's very good, beta. You performed very nice, yeah. Where I think MCQ might be the only place where you lost your marks. I think that particularly. I don't know where you lost your marks, but MCQ might be the only place, right? Okay, what makes India a secular country? See, secularism is a key provision of Indian constitution, because our constitution says that we provide to all the individuals to beta freedom to profess. What do you mean by profess? Like I'm a professor to you, I'm teaching you something. Similarly, anyone has the right to teach their religion to another one, practice it. We are openly practicing our religion, and to propagate it, that means to spread it from one person to another by the ideologies. We profess, we make the processions out there for any religious activity, so we have that right. Right? The constitution prohibits discrimination. No one is allowed to do any discrimination on the ground of religion. At the same time, our constitution allows the state to intervene in the matter of religion in order to ensure equality. Why this point is important here, beta? Because if I talk about secularism, if I talk about the ideal definition of secularism, it says that politics should be separated from religion. Like in USA, the government cannot make any policy in the religion, but in India we can. Why? Because we followed this policy of intervention when needed. How is our secularism? We will intervene when needed, like abolition of sati system, right? Banning of untouchability, banning of triple talaq in India. What was it? It was needed, right? Ma'am, I got 97.2. Very good, beta. 99 marks. Hi Nikki Sharma, that's great to hear that you got 99 marks. Very good. Now question mark is 100 lane. Do you want 100? That's why you're learning in the improvement second board exam class. I'm giving second board exam. Why you're giving second board exam? You got good marks, beta. Okay, so fine. What makes India a secular country? We learned this. From gender, religion and caste, what topics are important? Ways by which women are discriminated, we completed it, beta. Then we have communalism and politics. I'll brief you out. See, communalism is basically a feeling in which you belong to a community and you feel that my community is superior and the other one is inferior for sure. This is known as what? Communalism. This happens. How this communalism comes in the minds of the people? This is because of our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life, we believe in certain type of stereotypes that we believe in, right? And then we pass on to from one generation to another. And because of this, what happened? We start believing in communalism. Similarly, when this communalism comes into politics, we feel this is known as communal politics. We feel that this is known as communal politics. I will give you example. Like now question comes, how communalism take form in politics? You are a political party, you want to win the election in an area, what do you find out? You will go and find out, acha, in this region, this community is living war. Why can't I choose the leader who is from the same community? Okay, then whenever that leader will be giving the speeches and all, he wants to muster the support of the people, to collect the support of the people, he will use that communal speeches. Talk about God, talk about their past, communal life, etc. And that is what is known as communal politics. Get it, beta? Great, fine, fine. Now, caste in politics and politics in caste. This is also two important topics from the same chapter. Do you guys have any doubt from this chapter, or shall I move ahead with the another one? Anyone? I love maths, but unfortunately maths is not your exam tomorrow. Solo edit is back saying hello ma'am. Again and again you come and just say hello and just talk to students and then go to another live, I guess. Ma'am, aap bahut beautiful ho. Thank you beta. I hated math after standard set 3. What is this? Ma'am, I got 98 in maths paper. That's great, Pankaj. That's great. I also got set. Acha, here, like in your previous maths exam, you got set 3 and it was hard. That's the reason you hated it. Ma'am, what's your name, by the way? My name is Tanvi, by the way. Okay, no doubt. Thank you, Subramanyam, for actually coming on point. Great. So, gender, religion and caste. He was like, Yare ma'am, no doubt, just move ahead. Let's move to another important question. Okay. No ma'am, go to study, not another live. Okay, great. Now, finally, you are on to your objective. So, what are the steps taken for resource planning in India? We come to the chapter that is resource and development. Finally, we come to the chapter that is resource and development from the book Geography. Okay, talking about this chapter, bhai, what happened? Resources were a lot around us. We started developing a lot without even thinking about the future generation, and we exploited a lot. What happened in result? Finally, one day, the world leaders got up, opened their eyes and realized we have to think about the resources in the Earth Summit 1992 at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Do you remember that? So this is what happened, and from there we got a word that let's make resource planning. Let's do what? Resource planning. So here comes the next thing, that is resource planning in India. Right? But see, when you were in class 10, you're right now also in class 10 because you are still giving the improvement exam. But when you started your class 10th, I always give this example. You got the new books. When you got the new books, the first thing you did was to identify, acha, I have to study maths, science, SST. Okay, let me see the book, right? Let me see the books and figure out how many chapters are there in maths, science, SST, English, Hindi, or whatever subject you study, right? So, well, about this, first thing, you are planning for your class 10th, first thing you are doing is to identify. Similarly, when you are doing resource planning, what is the first thing you need to do is to identify and invent that, bhaiya, how many resources are there in country and where they are. How you are going to do that? With the help of survey, mapping, qualitative and quantitative analysis, as well as measurement of the resources too. Great, get it? Now, when you did this, what you did this, beta? When you identified that, bhai, this chapter I am going to study, then you will identify, acha, what are the resources I have? Only NCERT, no, I shall buy some other resources too. So then what you will do, beta, you will evolve a planning structure that is endowed with appropriate technology, skills, institution setups for implementing these development plans. Right? You got the resources identified, add up with technology and skills. Now you have to match with the national resource planning also, because what happens if you don't know that you have just 8 months to study? You are going to study very, very lightly. thinking that I'll complete the syllabus in 2 years. Similarly, if the people of Jharkhand knows one day that all these coal mines are theirs, they will use the entire coal without thinking about the country. Hence, it is needed that we need to match this resource development with the National Development Plan. Get it? Yes, ma'am. Okay, great. Okay, if in case you guys have any doubts, beta, you can ask. You're free to ask me all the questions what you want me to explain to you. Fine, great. So these are the steps for the resource planning in India. Which soil is the most fertile soil in India? So clearly, ma'am, this question came in my exam. Yes, resource planning question is very important. Why? It will come multiple times in exams. So which soil is most fertile soil? Alluvial soil. See how they have not given you the name of the soil and ask you to write in detail for 5 marks. Getting it? So which soil is the best soil? Alluvial soil. Write the 5 points. What you are going to write is about its formation. How alluvial soil is formed? Rivers brought down the sediments, deposit them. Which soil is found? Alluvial. Next is area. Where it is found? Northern plains, narrow corridor between Gujarat and Rajasthan. Composition: phosphoric acid, potassium, lime in good proportion. Okay, very good. Classification: Khadar and Bhangar. Khadar is known as new alluvial and Bhangar is known as old alluvial. Next is feature: highly fertile soil it is. When the soil is more fertile, more cultivation will be there and more people will live there. Densely populated. Crops: wheat, paddy, sugarcane, cereal or pulses. Clear? Thank you, beta. Thank you to all of you just praising me over here. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's study. Okay, get it? Similarly, the question can come for other soils also. Recently, I uploaded one video, all soils of India, in just one video for 10 minutes. If you guys want to watch it, you watch it, please, because a lot of question comes from this topic, that is all soils of India. Okay, in which I explained about black soil, etc. Acha, I have uploaded one strategy video for today. The strategy that you need to follow for this 2 days. So you go and watch these after the live, not here leaving the live and going and watching that. After the live you go that. Rishabh, thank you beta, but stop it, stop spamming now. Okay, fine, great. 40 people watching me right now. Why don't you just go and hit the like button and subscribe button too? This is the least I'm expecting from you. Now, which soil is done? Then topics important from resource and development is resource planning in India, land use pattern in India, land degradation and conservation, like reasons for land degradation beta, deforestation, then along with that over irrigation, over grazing, over mining, mineral processing units, etc. Then if I talk about land conservation, we have the process of afforestation, like limited scope of grazing or grazing in a proper managed way, not doing over irrigation, right? Then shelter belts to be formed, proper discharge of the mineral processing things or discharge coming out of industries properly. Like first, do not just dump it into the land. First treat it. Okay, fine. All soils of India. Then we have soil erosion and soil conservation. What is soil erosion beta? Soil erosion is a process in which top layer of the soil runs away. It runs away maybe because of running water, speed or pressure of the running water, which is known as gully erosion, because of wind, known as wind erosion, or because of any tectonic thing, that is known as sheet erosion, or because of wrong method of farming. So what is erosion beta? Rishabh, stop it. Ma'am, no MCQ question. Subramaniam, I didn't plan MCQ questions for today. I was just making you subjectively like strong, because out of the TT questions, 60 questions comes from subjective ones. We will plan some MCQs tomorrow if you guys are okay with that. right? For tomorrow's session, I plan complete SST revision, but let's start for that first 1 hour with certain important MCQs. However, in that marathon also, I added a lot of questions in between. So we'll do that. Fine? Clear? Okay, great. Next one. Steps taken by government for the conservation of forest and wildlife. Steps taken by the government for the conservation of forest and wildlife. Wait. Okay. So yeah, the steps taken by government for the conservation of forest and wildlife. This is from the second geography chapter, forest and wildlife. ठीक है? So in 1960s and 1970, conservationists demanded for National Wildlife Protection Program. First point. Second point will be Indian Wildlife Protection Act was passed in 1972. Along with that, central and state government established national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Beta, this is an important question. So remember that steps taken by government. First, they made the program. Then they implemented the law. Then they asked the government to make national parks and sanctuaries. Then certain projects were made to protect the species of animal, like for example Project Tiger, Project Rhino. After that, a lot more species were added. Okay, this is important one. Next is about what is the role of community in the conservation of forest and wildlife in India. Very, very, very important question. What is the role of community? So what are the communities do we need to remember is first point, Sariska Tiger Reserve. Where is Sariska Tiger Reserve? Bhai, in Rajasthan. What happened? Mining was going on. Government came to take the minerals out of their people. Stand in queue like, what are you guys doing? You passed the Wildlife Protection Act. You are doing mining in Tiger Reserve. We don't allow you. See, this is how it works. So yes, the Sariska Tiger Reserve people raised their voice against these mining. Okay, second one is inhabitants of 5 village in Alwar district of Rajasthan again. Right, Alwar district of Rajasthan declared 1200 hectares of forest. How many beta? 1200 hectares of forest as Bhairav Dev Duck of Sanctuary. Bhairav Dev Duck of Sanctuary, right? What they did in that, like hectares of land, they declared it as Bhairav Dev Duck of Sanctuary and made their own rules and regulations. Government can't interfere. Okay, Chipko movement in Himalayas example. Then we have Beach Bachao Andolan in Tehri. Tehri is in where? Uttarakhand. So here diversified crops were produced without any chemicals. This is what is known as Beach Bachao Andolan. Next do we have is sacred groves. Okay, we in India like worship plants and animals. We know that. Ajay, do you guys know about that tragedy of Bishnoi community and Salman Khan? Everyone know about that. So what happened? It was that black bug when that car crashed, and black bug is being treated as religious entity by this Bishnoi community. So that is the reason. Okay. Next question. So forest and wildlife. These are the important topics. JFM, write a short note on JFM is very important. Okay, anyone who can tell me the year when JFM was started, Joint Forest Management was started? Hi ma'am, myself Akshata. Hi Akshata, how are you? Ma'am, important MCQs. It's not in today's life, but it will be in tomorrow's life. Song edit, whoever you are. No MCQs for today, tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow MCQs we will do and revise the entire SST. Clear? Great. Okay, forest and wildlife, JFM. Acha, if someone is here who want the access of this PDF what I am teaching, there is available in the description box. You can just go and download it ASAP. Okay? Political parties, outcomes of democracy, print culture in modern world, sikhana bhool gaye. I remember beta, I'll talk about these topics too. Thank you for reminding. It's great you are learning with me since 12:30. That's very great. Okay, multi-purpose projects and large dams have come under great scrutiny and opposition. Explain. By now we know that dams were made. Dams were made in an objective. What was the objective for making the dam? That it will it will help us in the case of flood, because what is dam? It is a reservoir where water, excess water is stored. But in response, what happened? Negative things happened a lot. What happened, beta? Negative things happened a lot. So regulating and damming rivers affect the natural flow. What we did? We made the dam. We regulated the natural flow. We stopped in the natural flow. It will lead to poor sedimentation by at the bottom of reservoir. Or somewhere it lead to excess of sedimentation, like there is a stoppage being made because of dam. So sediments coming could not be able to flow with the water. Lot of sediments just grow up over there, which reduces the width of the river. Problem, flood will cause. Objective is failed. Getting my point? So resulted in rockier stream beds, poor habitat for river aquatic life, because it affected the aquatic life and their routine, what we can natural cycle. Okay, dams also fragment rivers, make it difficult for aquatic fauna to migrate, especially during the time of spawning. They triggered floods various times. As I told you, there is a river flood going on, and there is a dam made over here. What will happen? The river bringing the sediments will get deposited over here. The depth of this river is decreased. Excess water will come out, causing flood. So sometimes they even induced earthquake, waterborne diseases, etc. Important question from the chapter, multi-purpose projects. Okay, so who proclaimed dams at the temples of modern India? Tell me, and why? The question is written right in front of your screen. Tell me.
बच्चों. So, what topic we were studying? How are you all?
You crashed in my class.
Yes, Tanvi Ma'am is taking a little bit of rest. She has been teaching from the morning. So I thought I'll say hello to all my kids and tell you all the best. How is your preparation going? Ma'am, कहाँ गई आप? Ma'am, घूमने गई. Hi, OG unknown. How are you all? Arey, you all have lots of time on your hand. Huh? Saying that you have a paper of SST that you are going to give again. Hello, Vaibhav. How are you? Hello, everyone.
I love you, ma'am, sir.
First, get your things sorted. Is it ma'am or is it sir? Okay. Tanvi ma'am is coming in just a minute. All the best, everyone. Bye.
See, you crashed my class. I was wishing you start teaching also.
No,
I was
fail.
They will fail. So, ma'am is saying, ma'am is your science teacher, by the way. A lot of you know her. Very nicely watched live sessions of great physics and all that. The subject that I can't teach and what I'm teaching right now is she can't teach. But we wish you all the best. Like, all the teachers are wishing you all the best for your upcoming exam, and I think this will be the last exam for your second board exam too. Ma'am, everyone is wishing you hi. You went there and then they started wishing you hi. Okay, so hi from Aditi ma'am side, and now let's move back to our SST class. So now, okay, who proclaimed dams at the temples of modern India? It was Jawaharlal Nehru. And why it is referred as what multi-purpose projects? These are the reasons listed over here. Meanwhile, I was resting. I think that you guys were studying and reading those. Next is about what do you understand by Palar Pani? Beta, this is a practice that is more prevalent in Rajasthan. And by this Palar Pani, do not get confused. It is actually beta tank system. Tank system below the houses. What they do for storage of water, they make the tanks, store it during the time of rain and then later use it. So whenever the question comes, beta, okay, whenever the question comes Palar Pani, don't worry, it is tank system only. The tank could be as large as big rooms and all that. Okay, and you will be explaining it right here likewise. Getting my point, beta? What do you understand by Palar Pani? So water resource important topics are multi-purpose river projects, okay, rainwater harvesting system in ancient times, rainwater harvesting system in modern times, and dams for map work. In this, a complete map work comes for your exams and locate the dams. For example, Salal Dam. Right? For example, lot of dams are there. I'm just asking about Salar Dam. Acha, where is Salal Dam? Tell me on which river? Rana Pratap Sagar Dam. Rana Pratap Sagar Dam. Okay? Salal Dam, Rana Pratap Sagar Dam, many more. Okay. Another important question, now this one is from economics, beta. What I'm leaving today is not that I'm entirely leaving the chapter that is in the agenda for the next day, but I am today here with what? I am here with the most important and the most repeated questions that we need to study. Okay, so here one more question that usually come in exams is that why do we use averages? Why do we use beta what? Why do we use averages? See, so the chapter name is development, and here we are comparing the development among the countries. Developed country like USA, developing country like India, underdeveloped country like Pakistan. So how do we name them? First thing that we started was analyzing it with the help of their total income. Failed. Why? Because total income for different countries will be different, bhai. Then we moved towards average income, because when we in maths calculate the long data, what do? average. So average income was total income upon total population, also known as per capita income, also known as per capita income. Now what happened? It also failed. Why? Because it has a loophole. What's that? And that is, beta, it is useful for comparison, but it hides disparities. Why? Because if there are 5 members in a country, all of them are earning 1000 rupees, then it is okay. But if there are 5 members in a country, only one of them is earning 4000 and other of them are earning just 200 rupees. Don't you think the total income of both the countries will be same? Yes. Don't you think the average income of both the countries will be same? Yes. But don't you think that there is disparity of the people earning in country B? Yes. They were earning equal, that was okay. But here people are not earning equal. So this is the important one. Then what does HDI stands for? Beta, HDI is what? Human Development Index. Index, that means list. Who prepared this Human Development Index or report? It is UNDP. Who is UNDP? United Nations Development Program. What is UNDP? United Nations Development Program. Okay. What is the criteria? Like previously in the World Development Report, the criteria was only per capita income, which failed. So now the criteria is education level, health status and per capita income. How many countries are there in the HDI? There are 193 countries. What is the rank for India? 134. 5 points, 5 marks. Write nicely, you will get the marks. Okay. An important question that comes usually, write the difference between right, World Development Report and Human Development Report. Write the difference between. Hi ma'am, I'm new subscriber. Glad to know this, beta. You will always be welcome on this channel and you will really get quality content for your class, for your preparation. Ma'am, I completed geography when I listened to mega revision videos. It's very fast and interesting. I loved it so much. Thank you, beta. Thank you. Great. It's great. So mega revision is done. Very good. So HDI stand for is done. So from development, these are the important topics I am telling you. Different people have different developmental goals. Yes, like a boy child or a girl child in India have different development goals. Like an industrialist who is planning to make the dam and a person who will be asked to relocate from that land because that land will be used for making the dam. So both these people have different developmental goals. Get it? Then there are mixed of goals other than income. Bhai, there are lot other things required as a goal like freedom, equality, respect, etc. Okay. World Development Report based upon the criteria average income. Classify country into rich countries, poor countries, middle income group. Human Development Report published by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. The criteria are based upon per capita income, education, per capita income, education and health status. Okay. The last important topic is sustainability of development. Yes, correct. The world development focuses on development of world, whereas human development focuses on the development of every individual. Very good, Balraj. Very good. Ma'am, Vedantu is online now. Vedant is online now. Hi, Vedant. How are you? I just read it, Vedantu. We have a habit of reading this Vedantu, na? That's why. Hi, Vedant. How are you? So, glad to see you here. My favorite question comes here of CBSE. Why there is a rising importance of tertiary sector? So, we know that there are 3 sectors, beta. Primary, right? Primary. Then we have secondary sector. And then we have tertiary sector. These days, there are rising importance of tertiary sector in the world. Why? 5 points, 5 answers. Sorry, 5 points. 1 answer, 5 marks. Okay, because it gives you basic services. Why tertiary sector is a sector also known as service sector. All it contains are the basic things like hospital, education, post and telegraph, etc. Okay. Second important thing is demand for service such as transport, trade. By what happens na, when you are doing agriculture, you are making crops, you are like preparing crops, wheat, like you are growing wheat. Now you want to transport it to the market. Transport is a service. You want to store in your field. Storing is a service. So all these things, they are increasing because primary and secondary will grow. Eventually tertiary will grow. There is demand for tourism. New thing, like when we talk to the older people, they were going to tourist places like for 2 years, 3 years, once in 2 years or 3 years. Nowadays, we want a trip in just 6 months, 4 months, or one trip in a month. So tourism is increasing. This culture of shopping, private school, private hospital increases with the increase in level of income. Dining out and all. This was not the part of society previously. Okay, yes, so rapid growth of service sector benefits from external demands like software industry and call center services too. So this is because of the liberalization, freedom of the services. Yes, tertiary sector is the highest contributor in GDP. Whenever talks about the people who are employed in which sector, so it will be definitely primary sector the most. However, now recently it's reduced from the previous one, but still, who is the highest sector in which highest employment is found? Primary sector. Okay, beta. Next important question is write 5 difference between organized and unorganized sector. By this is the favorite question of CBSE, asked a million of times. That is, write any 5 difference between organized and unorganized sector. Okay, so if we talk about organized sector, by organized it is, income is fixed, income is regular, employment is regular, this is registered under the government, certain rules and regulations follows like company laws and all that thing. There are process for the operations, employment enjoy benefits like maternity leave, paternity leave, gratuity is being given to them, leaves are given to them, paid leaves. If you work extra income will be given to them, but none of this is given in unorganized sector. Okay, hi to everyone saying hi to me right now. Hello beta, welcome on this channel. We are live here, like I guess now a lot of time is there. We are going to end the live. Now we don't have a lot of questions to practice. Just one more thing that I want to tell you beta, that is sectors of Indian economy. Important topics are about different sectors. Importance of tertiary sector, very important, very important. One topic that is underemployment, a situation when a person wants to work but unable to get the work. This is known as that's unemployment. What is underemployment? When a person has potential to work but is unable to find the work as per the potential, working less than the potential. Right? Get it beta? Very good. How to create employment? MG Narega, we know that now 100 days of employment. It is now changed to 125 days of employment. The name is also changed over there. Clear? Now, organized and unorganized sector, I just mentioned you. But another chapter, that is money and credit. Right? Money and credit. Questions are not listed here, but I am just going to share you that what are the important topics from that chapter. Chapter is what beta? Money and credit. So the first and the important thing is that you have to tell about modern form of money. Right? So what is that? Modern form of money. This is one of the important question. Like if we talk about currency, that includes paper, notes and coins. Then there is one more thing, that is check. Check is what? A document or a paper, right? That contains all the information that how much money is to be paid from person's account to another person's account. So basically it is an instruction given to the bank. Okay. Then we have deposits with the bank, that by we have these deposits with the bank. Yes, that is also known as demand deposit because we can get it whenever we want. Okay, so modern form of currency. Then if you want loan, right, there are certain requirements to be fulfilled. Like if you go and you want to take the loan, first thing that you need to pay is their interest rate. What you need to pay is beta, the interest rate. Second, you need to keep the collateral, something you need to keep, which has a value of its own, like land, property, gold, etc., anything like that. Then you have to put what? Interest rate is done, collateral is done, documentation required, yes, by documentation required, and then you need to tell your mode of repayment. So whenever the question comes that what are the criteria for, like, what are the main important requirements to get the loan, these are it. Important questions on political science from CBSE, beta. This is what we dealt in the entire session. You can go back and read them. Okay. Next important, which I would suggest you from this chapter, is SHG. Go learn it by heart, 5 points right now, because this question is going to come in your exam. What is SHG, beta? It is self-help group. A group made up of 15 to 20 members, especially women's in small region, coming together and pooling their savings. Okay, they are pooling their savings. They come together around 50 to like 25 to 100 rupees. They pool together. If any of the women want loan, this loan will be provided to her to start her business or anything from this money. All the decisions like who will get the loan, etc., will be taken over by the members of SHG. Members of SHG. Getting my point? One more point to be added over here is what? Let's figure out. And that is, beta, that if they are regular in savings, they can get the loan from the banks too. So this all were the important, most repeated questions from the entire SST. And this is over from my side. And still, if you guys have any doubt, please ask, or else we will end the life. Ma'am, again collateral. Okay, yes, Swarna. Beta, Swarna, collateral is basically, see, you go to the bank, you ask for loan. You take the loan and someday you vanish away. How will the bankers like retake the loan, the amount? Not possible. So in that case, for risk assessment, what they do? You go to the bank, ask for loan, they will ask you, acha, keep something as collateral. Collateral means here something which has its value, like your land. You will keep the papers of the land there. You will take the gold loan by keeping your gold there. That gold is a collateral, that land is a collateral. If you in case cannot be possible, like if in case you are not able to pay back the loan, they will take or confiscate that property of yours or gold of yours. Getting? So it is an asset for the bank. Fine. No doubt from Subramaniam. Thank you, Subramaniam. Anything else, beta? Acha, I want again SHG. Are bhai, SHG is a small group, self-help group, women's coming together, pooling their savings. Right? In case any of the women want loan, give her loan at low interest rate, because these women right now do not have collateral, no documents, they can't go to the bank. Hence, they are doing it at the local level. It is a local bank basically. Okay, one more thing that I need to inform to all the students watching me right now is that, beta, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, that is 20th of May, because your exam is on where? 21st of May. Tomorrow we will be doing what? Complete revision. Complete revision. Like as you guys suggested me today, ma'am, we want MCQs. So this session will be started with lot of MCQs. This session will be ended with map work. In between, it will be a marathon for the complete revision of SST. When is this session going to start, beta? It is going to start sharp at 12 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know until when the session will end, but you need to be prepared at this time. Okay? Is it clear to all of the students out here? And tell me, was today's session helpful for your studies and your preparation? Very good, very good. Okay, great. So this was it from my side. I hope that the session was helpful for all my students. Go and study today at night. Revise everything. We'll come back and practice as much as possible and revise it. Okay? Great. Glad to be the part of your preparation journey. I hope that I make a help or a change in your studies. Okay, come on. So let's end it. Thank you, beta. Thank you. Welcome, beta. Welcome. We'll meet tomorrow. All the best. Prepare nicely. Study nicely. Bye bye. Meet you soon tomorrow.